Welcome back to another episode of the Real Duo Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Wade.
Another host, Devin.
What have you been watching this week or the last couple weeks?
I've been watching, you know what I've been watching. I've been telling you about it. I've been watching all the DC animated universe.
I don't know a goddamn thing.
You do know, because we've been talking about it.
We have.
The DC animated universe movies. And
get the fucking universe name right.
What is it?
The DC animated movie universe. Because the animated universe is a different universe.
I flipped two words. My bad.
You cocksucker.
DC animated movie universe.
Yes.
And I finished them all except for Suicide Squad because I ain't watching the movie.
Yeah,
I don't care. It was really good. I liked all of it, the whole thing. I think the best movie is either Flashpoint or...
Flashpoint's great.
It's either that or Justice League Dark Apocalypse. I don't know which one I like better. I want to say Flashpoint. That's what I want to say.
Flashpoint's awesome.
I liked Batman Hush. I know you haven't seen that, but
yes, I would watch that.
I'm not going to spoil anything for you.
I don't care. I'm sure it's the same.
I also
thing
don't know how accurate it is to the comic.
I'm sure they changed a little bit of it.
But I liked it. I like Batman Hush. There was a lot of the Batman movies where I'm just like, this is fine.
Most of the Batman movies are just, it's Batman.
Yeah.
It's Batman doing Batman shit.
I'm just like, it's fine.
I like Batman Bad Blood because it wasn't Bruce Wayne for most of the movie. It was Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Batman, and that was cool because I like.
Because that's the one where he dies, right?
Yeah, he gets captured by the Court of Owls or whatever.
Yeah. Which I like the Court of Owls stuff. That was good.
Court of Owls are awesome.
I like the Death of Superman. That was really good.
Superman's great.
I like the Reign of Superman too. I like that was good. It was really good. I liked was it the first Justice League Dark? Even though, like you said, Batman doesn't need to be in that, but
he has no reason to be in that.
I like that just because it's weird.
That was cool because I like Dead Man and I like Constantine and Zatanna. I like that whole team.
I like the whole weirdness of it too.
Yeah, it's very odd.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all of it. Pretty good. Next on my list is Superman Red Son. I haven't watched it yet. Last night I did watch Superman and Shazam versus Black Adam, the short. I watched that.
Did you watch the whole, all the shorts on there?
I did, but I kind of stopped paying attention after Superman.
Because I think after that one, it's like the Spectre.
The Spectre.
Which no one cares about.
I watched it and I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I was like, whatever.
The one after that, what was it? I know the last one, Jonah Hex, which that one I did not pay attention to. I slowly paid less attention as they went on. What was the third one? I don't fucking remember. I'll think of it later. I'll just yell it out. But I like the...
Green Lantern.
No. I feel like it was something... Green Arrow. That's what it was. Yeah. You said Green Lantern. I'm like, wait. Was it?
Green?
It was Green Arrow. And he was protecting a queen. A little bit
like about Green Arrow.
Yeah. But that one was okay. I did not pay attention to Jonah Hex at all. I was doing other stuff at that point.
That's fine.
That's all I've been watching. Then we've been watching Falcon and Winter Soldier, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah,
what have you been watching?
I've been watching a bunch of stuff. I checked out the first 3 episodes of Invincible on Amazon.
Oh, you did? How was it?
The first 3. I wasn't too
How was J.K. Simmons?
J.K. Simmons was great.
Yes.
He actually is a character in it. I thought he was going to show up for an episode and be like, oh, okay. He's one of the main characters.
Yeah, he's one of the main characters.
Stephen Yeun is J.K. Simmons' son. He's really good in it. The voice cast in it is fucking fantastic.
The cast is just insane.
The cast is great.
There's so many big A-listers in here.
Yeah, the cast is awesome. They do a good job with the voice acting and everything. It's just the story, at least from what I saw from the first 3 episodes, was just kind of
just kind of meh.
All right, it didn't. The first 3 episodes didn't really do a good job of making someone who's not familiar with the comics invested in it. Because the first episode ends on a really fucked up cliffhanger where you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting. But then the next 2 episodes kind of just they don't ignore it, but it's just they're not as interesting as that last kind of bit at the end of the first episode to make me continue to be like, oh, do I care really about what's going on? Maybe as a whole season, maybe it might be good, but as of right now, I'm not.
Is it coming out weekly or is it the whole
season? It's coming out weekly, yeah.
Oh, so
since Disney started that, everyone's doing that now.
Are you gonna continue watching it?
I don't know. Maybe once the season's done, I might go back and try to see if it works better as a season because it might. But the first 3 episodes, just for me, I was like, all right, the animation isn't anything special. The music in it isn't super great or anything. There's some okay action in it, I guess, but just from what I've seen, I wasn't too pleased with it really. Mm-hmm. But I know the fans of the comic are enjoying it, so
that's good.
That's all.
That's who they're trying to please.
Yeah. So I'm glad they have an adaptation of the comic.
It looked good. I was gonna check it out. It's
You should still check it out.
It's far on my list of things to watch.
You should still check it out.
I still gotta watch The Boys. I still gotta watch.
You do.
I got a lot of stuff on my list.
You gotta watch The Boys. Yeah. I also watched Day of the Dead. I finished the Dead trilogy.
Oh.
It was good. It wasn't as good as Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead.
Those are classics.
They are. So is Day of the Dead. But it's just not as good.
It's not as good.
It's not as good. The makeup effects are better. There's some amazing.
Who is it? Is it Greg Nicotero? Does he do that? When did this movie come out?
This was in like the 70s.
I think he did.
It was Tom Savini who did the zombie effects.
What did he do? Oh, he did for Evil Dead, I think.
Greg Nicotero? That name sounds familiar.
He does the Walking Dead stuff.
I don't think he might have did the new Evil Dead movie.
Maybe
the 2013 one. I don't think he did the old one.
I think I got it confused with that. I think that's why.
It might be that new Evil Dead movie sucked. Though.
I know he started in doing zombie movie stuff before he did the Walking Dead. I was gonna say he does good makeup for. That's the best part of Walking Dead is the makeup. Honestly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is it as good as that in the 70s?
In Dawn of the Dead, it's a little bit more simple. It's a little bit more just like people walking around. Day of the Dead is really the one where it's like, holy shit, how the fuck did they do some of this stuff? We're like, that's cool as shit, man, and it looks really good. Like there's one scene where like someone's getting ripped in half, like or the zombies are like pulling his head off, and he's screaming, but as they're pulling his head off, his vocal cords are being stretched, so his voice gets higher, and it's like disturbing as fuck, but it was so cool, and it was really well done. It was very seamless.
Yeah, that sounds
in the movie
disgusting, but it's what you want from a zombie.
Exactly, yeah.
Disgusting shit.
It was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
You love things that are like, ooh, that makes me squirm. That's what you like.
I like movies that make me feel things. All right.
Yeah, fuck them jump scares.
Fuck that noise. That's not feeling something.
That's not horror.
Oh, something happened.
There's a loud noise.
That's essentially what a jump scare is. It's just there's a thing.
There's a fast moving object and a loud noise.
Yeah, that's what it is. It sucks. Fuck them.
Fuck them. That's what Paranormal Activity became. It's jump scares.
I mean, yeah, basically.
I haven't watched any Paranormal Activity.
I saw the first one. So. Like, there's a bunch of doors.
Dylan watched like the first 4 or something.
What?
4?
I think there's 4, and then there's the Mexican spinoff.
He watched the first 3 or 4 because they were all on Netflix, and he was like getting into horror at the time. He's like, I'm gonna watch all the horror movies on Netflix, and he watched all of them. I remember him telling me, yeah, only the first one's good. All the other ones are terrible.
First one's boring. First one's the door closed.
I've seen the end. Yeah, they trucked the dude.
Yeah, and I was like, all right.
And the door closes.
It was trying to be like the Blair Witch Project, but the Blair Witch Project was fucking terrifying.
The Vivitch.
Well, that's a different movie.
I know,
and that is not like either of those films.
I don't watch horror movies.
You're like, oh, I know a movie, and then you just named it up.
The scariest movie I think I've seen is Texas Chainsaw.
That's pretty fucking scary.
It's not as scary.
It's kind of fucking disturbing.
It's disturbing, but it's not scary.
That's pretty scary.
You're pretty scary.
I am very scary. Boo. I also watched. I watched this a while ago, but I forgot to talk about it on the podcast. It's called Wind River.
Wind River.
The Jeremy Renner Elizabeth Olsen movie. It's fucking really good.
Is it?
And it's one of those movies that like I remember seeing trailers for it, but it kind of just flew under the radar, and everyone was like, I ain't seeing that.
It looks like the same cover as the Harrison Ford movie with the dog, Call of the Wild.
It is very much like that.
Yeah.
The cover is anyway, but it's a really dark kind of like crime thriller with Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen. There's a fun cameo in it from another Marvel person.
Samuel Jackson.
No. But it was really cool to see because I didn't expect him, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's cool."
Oh, it's a him. Oh,
it's a he.
It narrows it down. It's Robert Downey Jr.
It doesn't narrow it down that much, but it was really cool, and it's someone who everybody loves. But it's a fucking great movie.
Tom Hiddleston.
Watching it. No, I'm not gonna tell you.
Tom Holland.
I'm not gonna tell you. Yeah, little baby Tom Holland shows up. But it's a damn good movie. You should check it out.
Another Tom.
No. None of the Toms.
I can just look it up.
You could, or you could watch the movie and go, "Oh, that's cool." Fucker. I also watched Tombstone, which is a western.
Tombstone. I never heard of that.
With a great cast. Kurt Russell's in it. Val Kilmer's in it.
Why is Kurt Russell in every western?
He's in 3 westerns. All right.
He's in every western.
He's in 3. And that's all he's ever done. in his entire filmography is just those 3 movies.
That and Guardians 2. That's it.
And Guardians 2. That's all he's known for. That's all he'll ever do.
That's all he'll ever do. He's retired. Never doing it again.
Kurt Russell's gonna be working until the day he dies, man.
Probably.
He's loving
He'll
life.
probably die on set.
That'd be awesome.
They'll put it in the movie.
Kurt Russell's a fucking badass.
Same thing with Tom Cruise, but Tom Cruise won't die of old age.
No, he'll die. He'll fly a spaceship into the moon.
He'll be like, all right, I can jump over this jet, and then
he'll do something.
It just
stupid like
annihilates
that.
him.
Kurt Russell will just die, like just being a cool man. Just like, hey, what's up? I was in the thing.
He's smoking his cigars.
I'm Kurt Russell, motherfucker.
If somebody dies on set, are you obligated to keep that in the movie? If you film
You
it?
shouldn't keep that in the movie because then we just watch someone die.
But like, if it was like a dying scene
No,
and they actually died.
you don't keep that in the movie.
But what was really good? That's the best actor you can do.
Okay, don't keep that in the movie. You shut down production, and you never talk about that ever again.
You just don't put the movie out?
Yeah, someone's dead, Devin. Our lead is dead.
But like that was the last scene. It was the death scene.
If it was the last scene of principal
Filming?
photography, like the last thing you had to do, that's very convenient. Maybe you could put it on. But that's not how movies are done.
But what if it is? What if that movie?
Then they just lucked out and got lucky.
Do you keep it in?
You probably shouldn't keep in the exact moment he fucking died. Like, you could edit around it. But, like, sure.
And his family was okay with it and all that?
If his family was cool with it, I don't give a fuck what they do. You could slaughter a pig or whatever. I don't care. But, I don't know. That'd be weird. Oh, he actually died and we're seeing him die.
Look, this is fun fact. This is where he died.
Yeah, it's a little morbid. Like, imagine if Heath Ledger, like, when he was hung up on the thing from Batman, if he just fell to his death and they left that in the movie.
See, but that's a mess up.
That's not different.
That's not. I'm not saying it's not different. I'm just saying that's like a screw up.
Doesn't matter. He died.
But he just dies of old age.
Either way, they both die.
But one's like, hey, he could have lived. The other one's like, oh, he was.
He could have lived if he wasn't an old bitch.
I was just wondering. It's like one of those things that, like, you know, when you're doing a movie and a stuntman gets hurt, they're like, all right, we got to keep that in the movie because the stuntman got hurt, and he, you know, usually they do that.
Yeah, but it's a stuntman. Nobody cares about stuntman. If a stuntman died on set and they got a good shot of it, they leave it in. No, they don't care.
Where's the Oscars for stuntman?
That'll never happen because they don't care.
Where's the Oscars for mocap? Where's that?
That'll never happen. Don't do a separate thing. Just lump them in with the Oscars.
I think stuntmen should have their own.
Stuntmen, sure, because they're not really acting; they're doing stunts.
Yeah.
Mocap is just acting.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give you that.
So
I'll give you that. But I think stuntmen should have their
Yeah,
own.
that's fine. It's the
Best Stuntman Awards.
They used to do that on Spike, but who the hell watches Spike?
Exactly.
So.
They did it on, you know, the Nickelodeon Teen Choice Awards.
Yeah, I'm sure teenagers know all those famous.
And then they got slimed.
They got slimed, man.
Remember the early 2000s? That was great.
Toxic slime. That's probably not good for you.
Yeah, people trying to eat that.
Don't. You're gonna die.
Like the audience, they would.
I hope those people died.
It's like, oh, it's glue.
You got a bunch of green glue.
That's how they make slime, isn't it? I thought it was glue mixed with something else. I
I
don't
don't know
know.
what it's made out of.
I thought it was glue.
It's made out of horse semen. I don't know.
What the fuck?
I don't know. We need something sticky. Get some horse semen.
We went too far. Now we're talking about horse semen. Talk about your movie.
Tombstone. It's a great movie if you care about westerns at all, which I know nobody does anymore. But Tombstone's a fucking awesome one. It's about Wyatt Earp.
It's about what?
Wyatt Earp. Famous cowboy.
I thought you said Wide Earth at first. I was like, what the
It's about Wyatt
I
Earp.
was like, what the fuck is that?
Wyatt Earp. He was a famous cowboy.
I've never heard of him. He ain't that famous.
He's very famous. He's up there with like Billy the Kid.
Well, I've heard of Billy the Kid. I haven't heard of this guy.
Wyatt Earp's pretty fucking famous. He's in several movies.
What do you do? You like rob a train?
You gotta watch the movie.
You can't tell me.
He robbed a train and he became fucking infamous. He robbed one train.
Did he kill somebody? Did he?
There was a lot of stuff that happened.
Did he die? Did he?
Well, I mean, everybody dies eventually.
Well, yeah, but like, did he die like a heroic
Watch the
way?
movie.
You can't tell me one thing
Watch
that he did.
Tombstone.
One cool thing that he did.
Watch Tombstone.
Did he
You'll
spin
find out.
a
If you want to
revolver?
know, yeah, because he's a cool cowboy. If you want to know, watch the movie or watch the Kevin Costner movie, also called Wyatt Earp.
Did he ride a horse?
Yeah, at some point.
Cool. That's all you gotta do. If you ride a horse, you're just a cowboy. That's
Yeah.
how- Wear the big hat. You ride a horse. Get the straw in your mouth. Boom.
That cowboys don't do that.
Cowboys.
That's Huckleberry Finn. He had the straw in his mouth.
Well, I mean, they replaced it with cigarettes later. So.
You goddamn right. And Val Kilmer was fucking great in it as Doc Holliday.
Val Kilmer's in it?
Awesome. Yeah. He's fucking great.
Batman himself?
Speaking of, last night I watched Batman Forever. Just cause.
Oh, God.
There's no rhyme or reason to it. I just got a feeling like, I kind of want to watch Batman Forever. And it's not like the worst thing in the world, but it's not good. It's kind of like The Last Jedi, where like I can appreciate what they were trying to do with it, but they just didn't succeed at it.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen enough to know like this isn't a movie. I mean,
It's very odd.
Yeah,
this is more of a movie than Batman and Robin. Like this at least
I haven't seen either one.
This at least has some things in it where you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting, and that's kind of an interesting idea. And a couple years back, there was like apparently like Joel Schumacher had like 40 minutes that was cut out of the movie that was supposed to make it kind of darker and more like whatever. And everyone's been trying to like get WB to be like, hey, show us that stuff. Because I know Joel Schumacher, he wanted to make a more kind of psychological movie, and then WB was like, no, we need to sell toys.
We need to sell them McDonald's Happy
And so he's like, all right, fine, I guess we'll make a neon light show. And that's what he did. It's not like, it's not great, and there's a lot of dumb Batman jokes in it, but
I have to sit down and watch it one day, that and Batman and Robin, because I think I've seen every live action Batman thing besides that and the Adam West stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's all right. Val Kilmer's a solid Batman.
He's a solid Batman.
He's an okay Batman.
Who's the worst Batman?
That's obvious.
Live action.
George Clooney. George Clooney. Yes.
Poor George.
It's not his fault, but he sucks.
Poor George. Is he the second?
Second, like worst?
Yeah.
Probably.
Mm.
But he's okay. He's fine.
Makes sense. Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
Oh my god. Jim Carrey, I don't mind as much just because we've seen a crazy out of his mind Riddler. My problem is just the fact that he's Jim fucking Carrey and he's got to take everything overboard.
And he's wearing a big green leotard.
Well, that's what Frank Ocean did in the 60s. Too.
I think you could have made it more.
He was copying that. My main issue is Tommy Lee Jones in it, who's just not.
He's your main issue. That's the main issue you have with that movie.
Well, not with the movie, but like, I'm more angry that he didn't give a good Two-Face than Jim Carrey.
You made it sound like, hey, if you made this better, the movie could have been good.
No, the movie still would have been not very good. It would have been a little bit better if Tommy Lee Jones was like a good Two-Face. Because he could have been, but no, he's like, no, I'm just going to be a goofball.
That everyone poops on him for being like, I could never work with Jim Carrey. He's such a wacky weirdo. And then he's like, they did this.
It was because of this that he hates Jim Carrey.
No, he said that before that, didn't he?
I think that was after, because Jim Carrey always tells a story about how Tommy Lee Jones came up to him like while they were shooting the movie and was like, I ain't about that goofy shit.
And then, but look at his performance in this. He's like,
because he didn't care. He did it for his kids, and he's just like, I don't give a shit. This is a bunch of nonsense. So
imagine making a Batman movie for your kids, and you're like, it wasn't
your kids are like, what the fuck happened, Dad?
What is this?
Like, I did this for you, you selfish, spoiled bitches.
You son of a bitch.
And they disown you, and then you redeem yourself in Captain America. 20 years later.
Redeemer. He's in the movie, but he doesn't do much.
He's not Two-Face in it, so...
You could say he redeemed himself with Men in Black.
It's not a comic book movie.
It's kind of a comic book.
It's not based on a comic book.
It's not based on a comic book, but
it's not a comic book movie.
They could make it into a comic book.
But then it wouldn't be a comic book movie because it's not based off a comic book.
But 30 years from now, people will be like, yeah, it's a comic book movie.
That's not how that works. You can't just say a movie's a comic book movie.
They can.
You say whatever they want. That's not a comic book
movie.
People
can say whatever they want.
Sure, they're wrong.
I didn't say I made them right, but...
So if you want to consider Men in Black a comic book movie, that's fine. But you're wrong.
Just know in the back.
Just know in your heart that you're wrong.
You're stupid.
We also, the both of us collectively, watched Godzilla vs. Kong.
Godzilla vs. Kong. What were your thoughts?
It was fun.
It was fun.
I enjoyed it.
There's really not much to talk about with this
There really isn't. It's a giant mutant lizard punches a giant gorilla.
Good
times.
If you're going in for a plot, you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, I've seen people complain that like the plot was dumb, and I'm like, what the fuck did you expect from Godzilla vs. Kong?
If you want cool action, there's some cool action.
There's some really cool action.
It's not even that long. It's like an hour 45.
Under 2 hours. Yeah,
it's like
nuts.
An hour 45 minutes.
That's great. I love that.
So
it slows down a little bit in the middle when it's just like King Kong swinging around in the hollow earth or whatever, but it picks up again after that.
He actually made King Kong a character in this, which is
good.
Interesting. As someone who's seen this and the older version, how's it
This one's more like the older version is fun because it's shit. That's a shit film. If you watch it, like none of it makes any sense. It's like the suits in it are terrible. It's bad. This one's fun on like this is an actual like fun movie. Like it's just as dumb like plot wise, like nothing really makes sense. But this one is more of like a movie where it's like it's a solid fun movie. The other one's just like this is a bullshit, terrible.
This
fucking
is just
movie.
stupid.
Yeah, this is just dumb.
Well, I enjoyed it. There is a winner. I say there's a winner.
Yeah, which is weird because the protagonist. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody, but it's weird that like they make someone a protagonist and they're not really the.
Yeah, it's a twist.
Yeah, that's odd. That's kind of fun though.
Twist. If I say check it out, it's worth a check.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's a lot of dumb fun action. Yeah. So,
which is fine.
The one complaint I have: why the frick did they bring back the dad from?
I don't know.
Monsters?
He's in like 2 scenes.
Yeah.
My biggest problem: Lance Reddick.
Oh yeah,
he's top billed in the opening credits. He literally has like 5 seconds of screen time, and he says one thing.
I totally forgot he was in it.
I understand if you want to make him a cameo, don't fucking put him in the credits.
Because you were like, you lost your shit.
I was like, oh shit, Lance Reddick, we about to get a fucking bomb ass movie, and we did, but he's in it for 2 seconds. That pissed me off.
And
I love Lance Reddick.
They paid that much for that cameo. He's top billed.
I'm sure. Well, I know that directors worked with him and other stuff, so I'm sure he's like, "Hey, you want to be on? Like, we need a black person to say some stuff. You want to come on set for a day?" And he's like, "Sure, why not?" But don't fucking put him in the top billed cast. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Adam Wingard? Like,
I don't know.
Racism.
Racism.
And I liked Brian T. Henry as well. He was a little much, but he was the crazy conspiracy guy.
Oh.
He had a couple of weird lines of dialogue, but I like him as an actor. He's great as an actor, but...
The engineer with the flip phone that made me angry.
Yeah, that was a little weird, too. that was kind of
You're an engineer. Get a smartphone.
He's trying to keep off the grid.
I know what I understand.
He's got to have an old Motorola
I'm
flip
Walter
phone.
White. Of the Titans.
More like Walter Black, am I right? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I like him. Everybody else is kind of pointless on it.
Every character's pointless in it. I'm surprised they didn't bring back Aaron Taylor Johnson. I was like, they're bringing back people from other movies.
That guy was in one other movie. Like, I don't think we're gonna have much like continuity going forward with these movies. I think every now and then we'll have a character that's like, oh, I think he was in another movie.
I'm surprised they don't have a Robert Downey Jr. or Samuel L. Jackson type character.
They don't need one
to just show up in these movies.
They don't.
I thought it was gonna be that one guy
type character.
I thought it was gonna be that scientist guy, but then he died in King of Monsters. So
Ken Watanabe.
Yeah.
It would make, if anyone, it would be him because he's a scientist, man. But like, they don't need that type of character.
They don't need one, but I'm surprised.
Because the main characters are King Kong and Godzilla.
Yeah, but I'm just surprised they don't have one, honestly. A human character.
They gotta keep the budgets low.
Eventually, like, Jason Statham's going to show up in these
Jason
movies.
Statham. If he does, I want him to punch either Godzilla or King Kong in the face.
It'd make more sense to be King Kong, but I feel like he'd be like, all right, I want to punch Godzilla.
I want to punch Godzilla in the face. I'll only do the movie if I can punch Godzilla.
He'll be the one to just, like...
He'll punch Godzilla, and Godzilla's like, what the fuck?
Who's this guy?
Who does this nigga think he is?
When he steps on him.
I got mad respect for you.
I got
they just wades into the sea.
Respect. In terms of, though, sequels, how do you feel like they go from here?
This one, because my two favorites so far out of this monster, whatever the hell this monster-verse is called, are Kong Skull Island and this. Because I think both of those movies understand what this franchise needs to be, where it's just like, we don't really give a shit about the story. You just want to see monster fights.
Yeah.
And both of those movies, I think, understand that and do that really well.
And no disrespect for Godzilla. I love
I like the 2014 Godzilla, too.
King of Monsters sucks.
King of Monsters is a piece of shit. Because the 2014 one was trying to kind of harken back to the original Godzilla, where it was a more of a people story.
Plus, it has some dope visuals.
It does have some really good visuals in it.
And Bryan Cranston's in it.
And Bryan Cranston.
So,
but that'd be like my third, I'd say, out of...
I'd agree with that. And
then King of Monsters is dead last.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Do you want more from this universe?
Sure. If it's like Godzilla vs Kong, sure, why not?
You wanted to go wacky with it, just like
they went so fucking wacky.
But like even
Godzilla vs Kong already, there's another layer of the Earth with dragons and crabs and shit in it that King Kong came from, and there's just this magic axe, and they're all flying through like wormholes and shit. Like they're already there.
But do like more wacky.
I want space
like
demons,
aliens and
we
space.
Got aliens
space Godzilla.
We already got aliens in this universe.
Well, yeah, but like more.
I want to see Space Godzilla.
Space Godzilla, fucking I don't know.
Go nuts. Why not? I want Jet Jaguar to show up. I want another Mothra movie. I want all kinds of weird shit.
Let's do it all. Make it weird.
Fuck it.
Make all of them under 2 hours.
Please. King of the Monsters was like 3 hours, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
It felt like 3 hours. Yeah.
So fucking long.
Yeah.
Make it an hour and 40, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. And focus on the monster fights. God damn it.
Yes, do that.
So what we got another thing we gotta talk about. MC review.
MC review. We need Dylan to like make a theme.
Dylan, get on it. Make a theme.
Get on it. He's not listening to this.
Do something. I don't know.
Give me a beat. Just beatbox into a mic.
Boom. We got the first half of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Only 6 episodes.
Almost over with.
Yeah,
that's fucking nuts.
I think it's bizarre, but when you think about it, we've got an hour episode each week.
No, yeah, they're definitely longer than WandaVision.
And WandaVision was like 20 minutes a week, so it makes sense. As somebody who's a huge Captain America fan, how do you feel about this show?
I fucking love this show. The show is awesome. It's everything it needs to be. It's everything that I want from Marvel, and I don't understand why we don't get more stuff like this from Marvel. It always pisses me off when we get like, oh, Thor's doing goofy shit, blah blah blah. And I'm like, they have shown multiple times that they can tell grown-up, mature stories that are dark, that also have humor in them, that are really fucking good, and those are always the best stories and the best movies in their fucking thing. And this continues that.
Yeah, I think it's a great almost sequel to the Captain America.
Yeah, it's like a companion piece. Like it fits. It completely feels totally connected to that trilogy.
It does. I think
awesome.
if you don't watch Endgame though, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But
some of it, sure.
Some of it, yeah. But I think it picks right up from Endgame, honestly. Exactly
I think it's
how
like a couple months after Endgame.
Exactly how I would imagine it would to go. Mm-hmm. Everything makes sense. Like, they haven't done anything where I'm like, that doesn't make any sense for that character to do that.
Yeah.
But everything makes sense. Try not to go into spoilers yet, I guess, because...
Not yet.
But it's really good.
It's very good. It's
really
so
good. I'm disappointed by the title sequence.
That's how shows are now.
I know.
Most shows don't have.
I'm disappointed by it because WandaVision gave us those cool title sequences.
Because they had to, because they were emulating.
They didn't have to do that. They did whatever.
They didn't have to, but if they wanted to sell.
But I thought going forward, I was like, all right, we're gonna get cool title sequences for all these shows. I hope Loki does some cool wacky
Loki
stuff.
It would probably just be the title.
No,
that's it.
Make it a cool wacky.
No, they're not gonna invest time into making a cool thing. Here's the title. There you go. Let's start the show.
There's the thing.
Because that's how intros are now.
And I want more of the Cap theme, even though it's not anybody's theme.
Did they play it ever?
I think
there was a version of it with John Walker that they like remixed.
Yeah, I think that did they play it in the first episode when he was introducing the shield?
I think a little bit.
Maybe like softly.
But I want Falcon to get his own kind of thing. Give him his own.
I kind of want that, and I kind of want it to also be an homage to Captain America's theme, but like put a little twist on it. Don't put like
don't just copy it.
Don't copy it, but like put like
don't put hip hop in it, please.
Don't do that. I don't know who's making the music for this.
Henry Jackman, who did the scores for Winter Soldier and Civil War.
Hey, I mean those two movies don't have like scores that are like
they're not like incredible,
but
they're good. I like them.
Yeah. Should have got the guy who did first Captain America. They should have got.
That was a great score.
It was.
That wouldn't have fit because that's a different tone.
But still, it doesn't mean he can't do other tones.
Well, yeah. But
he's a musician.
We want to keep this in line with the last two movies.
That's
so
true. That's true. This does feel like something the Russos would have made, honestly.
It really does.
Which I think that's what they were trying to do when they made it. Kind of like.
Well, yeah, they wanted to emulate the two Russo movies.
But going into, unless there's anything else you want to say, going into spoilers.
We can go into spoilers.
All
sure.
right.
If you haven't seen it, go watch Falcon and Winter Soldier because it's really good.
I mean,
because we really can't go deep into the episodes without talking about spoilers. So
we're going to go in order of the episodes. So if we get to a point where you haven't seen it yet, you can skip forward.
There's 3 episodes. Watch it.
3 episodes. First episode is all about Falcon giving up the shield and whatnot, and Falcon and Bucky don't even meet. In that
that's
episode.
Great. I love that. I think that's awesome because we both get time to like see these characters. Like not really much action wise. I mean, there is an action scene in it, but like it's mostly about both of them, where they're at post Endgame, post Civil War, post all this stuff, and we just kind of like get to see them like living for a little bit. Like Sam's doing like real person shit. He's got like real people problems going on. Like it did such a good job of making them feel like people in the world, and they both have problems and they both have issues, and it was really well done.
It was, and so Falcon is working for the government or the Air Force or whatever, and
I think he's like freelance or something.
Is he? I don't know. Maybe he is freelancing. He's helping out the government or something. But he's doing missions in the first episode.
Yeah.
And he comes across. They bring back a character.
Batroc the Leaper.
Yeah, from Winter Soldier. He just shows up. He doesn't do much. Cool. But it's an okay. I guess it's a fight scene.
I like that whole action scene.
I like it. It's shot well, and the visuals look pretty good. It's fine.
Falcon just murders a bunch of people.
Yeah, but he's not like against murder.
No, none of the Avengers are.
No, yeah.
Cap murdered people.
There's a scene in Endgame where he just stabs a giant thing with his wings, and
there's a shot of him in Infinity War of him flying into the camera shooting Uzis. like he doesn't care.
Yeah,
none of these people give a shit.
He doesn't care. He's like murder, whatever.
Yeah, who gives a shit? Gets the job done.
And Bucky is, I guess, going through therapy. Yeah, I guess that's what he's doing. And he's like hanging out with his old man. And I know you were like, why the heck?
Yeah, I was like, how are they gonna? Is he like an old war buddy? Like, what's going on with him? And then when they like reveal it, it's like it's real fucked up.
It is.
It's real.
There's a flashback from when he's in his Winter Soldier days.
Mm-hmm. And at first I was like, is this just there to be like an action scene? But then it ties in.
It does tie in. I don't know what he's doing in that, but he's a
Winter Soldier.
He's murdering.
Yeah, he go kill someone.
And he murders like a student or a kid or something. Mm-hmm. And it turns out that kid.
He's like 20.
Well, yeah, still the guy that he kills ends up being the kid of the old man.
Yeah.
And it's like that's sad.
And Bucky's trying to like make up for it.
Yeah.
And one of his kind of duties in therapy is to like make amends with everyone, and he's just trying to make amends with this guy, but he can't because he's come to kind of know this guy a little bit, and he feels bad about it, and he just doesn't know how. I wonder if that's going to come back in the show. If he is going to eventually like.
You don't know. I don't know if that's going to wrap up or not. Like that loose end, but yeah, it makes sense that when Bucky's not being mind controlled, he's like, all right, I feel bad for everything.
Yeah, because he remembers all of it.
Yeah, he remembers everything.
Yeah.
And then the episode kind of ends with Sam trying to help his sister, right? And it's one of those real shit moments where it's like, okay, Tony Stark never pays the Avengers.
That's real fucked up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is another thing where it's like, Tony was a dick.
Right.
Like, he didn't pay them at all. He didn't set money aside for them when he's gone. Like, he's just, fuck it. Like, what the fuck, Tony?
I don't know. Maybe he lost all his money. I don't know.
How did he lose his money? Pepper still got his money.
I don't know. Maybe he gave it all to her.
Give me some of it, all right? I'm an Avenger.
Right. Give me something.
I helped save the planet.
But it kind of does that. What's the word I'm looking for here? The social commentary.
Social commentary.
Yeah.
The whole show is
towards the end of the first episode is when it kind of gets more into that, where they're trying to get a loan or whatever, and he's like, "Look, even though you're an Avenger and all that, it's like I still can't do anything for you, and all that stuff."
Which is bullshit.
Yeah.
I want to slam that guy's face into the wall.
Because
don't you know who the fuck I am?
Because he also says like, "Oh yeah, you haven't worked in 5 years." He's like, "I've been dead."
Yeah.
Like,
which that's really. I'm glad that they are starting to kind of flesh out like what happened during the blip, because that's really interesting. That whole world, like what was the world like? What happens when you just come back? Like,
I hope we get more stuff in the middle of the blip. I think that would be
that'd be cool too.
Interesting, because we kind of just like bounced over it. But yeah, and then the episode ends with John Walker getting introduced as the new Captain America, and
both Sam and Bucky are like, fuck.
Yeah,
like they both see it on TV and they're just like, what the fuck?
It's like, god damn it. And I think that was a good cliffhanger.
It was a great cliffhanger.
And the second episode starts off with John Walker like getting introduced or going to a football game or something as Captain America.
And it does a really good job of, because the first episode ends, you're like, oh fuck this guy. This guy's no Captain America. But then the first episode, or the first like 10 minutes of the first episode is him, like the first time we see John Walker is him like outside of the suit, and he's even saying like, how do I live up to Captain America?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I can be that.
And he goes,
I feel like that's gonna be his arc throughout the show, is that he knows he's not gonna be Captain America at all.
I think,
and no one's gonna take him seriously. Like, I think that's kind of his.
Do you think he'll become his comic book? Counterpart. More?
I think eventually he'll have to be like, look, I'm Captain America. I have to be somewhat threatening to these fucks because no one is taking me seriously. So I'm gonna take a super soldier serum, and it's gonna drive me crazy, and I'm just gonna be an asshole about everything.
Yeah, I think that's where
he's gonna crack under the pressure of being Captain America.
I think that's where the show's gonna lead to eventually. And we also have Battlestar as his sidekick, which is
stupid name,
weird. And then I know your favorite part of this episode was they introduced Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah, Isaiah Bradley. I've always wanted standalone, like one-off, like Marvel movie about Isaiah Bradley, because that's a really fucking interesting story. And I hope they bring it back. There's only 3 more episodes of the show, so I hope they don't just like, he's here and he's doing shit. Like, I hope we touch more on that, because that's a really fascinating, dark part of the Marvel universe. And I think you could make something really interesting out of that.
Would you be mad though if they touched on it in later, like season 2 maybe, or something?
Season 2, sure. If it's in the show, like, sure, that's fine. It would feel a little out of place that they just introduced him and then they don't do anything. But
I mean, they talk about him in season 3 and stuff. Like, he's the one where they got the super soldier serum from and stuff like that.
Yeah, they definitely mention it, but like, I want to see more with that, because like, that whole story is real fucked up, and I would love a flashback. I would love a whole movie about that. Like, just make a movie out of that.
They could do
that more.
This is definitely a show I feel like could get a season 2 though.
I wanted to have a season 2.
So, but yeah, then we get into more social commentary during this though, because there's a kid and he goes, "Hey, you're Black Falcon."
Hey, you're Black Falcon.
And he just kind of goes, well, "So what are you, black kid?" And he goes, he says, he goes, "Is it because I'm black?" And he goes, "Yeah, kind of." And he goes, "Does that make you black kid?" And he goes, I got him.
All right, you fuck.
Got him. Which I think that's a great. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't.
No, none of the social commentary in the show feels forced, because the show isn't about that necessarily.
No,
like,
it just
it's
has
very much
elements
there,
of it.
and it's very much talking about it. But it's not like, hey, white people are the devil. Like, it's not, because they easily could have did that.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's really interesting that they kind of present both sides with both Bucky and Sam, where it's like Sam gave up the shield because he didn't think that he was ready to be Captain America, but also that the world wasn't ready for Black Captain America. And then Bucky's like, well, why not be the change? Why not be that person who changes that to make people ready?
I also love,
why not be that? Like, that it kind of addresses both sides, and it's kind of interesting.
I also love that this show doesn't play on the fact of, oh, Bucky's upset that he's Cap. He's like, no, like, you should be Cap.
He was totally, like, in Endgame, we see, he was like, he nodded at him and was like, this is yours.
But they easily could have played on this show of like, oh, he's mad.
He definitely could have, and I'm glad they did.
And
I like why he's pissed off.
He's accepting, like, look, you need to be Cap. You are the better man to be Captain America. And if anybody is going to be Cap, it's going to be you, because Cap chose you to be Captain America. And he's pissed. He's like, like, you just gave that up. Like,
he says, he has that line, I think, towards the end of episode 2, which is really, really good, where he's like, I'm angry at you because Cap chose you, and if he was wrong about you, then he was wrong about me.
I know.
And it's more of Bucky being angry at himself, because he knows that he's still kind of fucked up, and he doesn't want to go back to being the Winter Soldier. So, like, it's really cool, and it's really fascinating that they did all this, because they could have just surface level, oh, I'm mad at you, why didn't you give up the shield, blah, 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 blah. But no, they actually, like, have a reason for it. It all makes sense.
And also, Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie bounce off each other.
They're
amazing.
Fantastic. I love them.
They're hilarious, but then also in serious moments, like, they get serious.
Yeah, they both do a really good job. They both have comedic and serious moments. And they both do a really good job of both.
Oh, yeah. And then there's a fight scene in episode 2 where Bucky and Sam are fighting the Flag Smashers, the super soldiers, and they're getting their ass kicked. And John Walker
swings in. That was such an, like, America fucking thing. But I could see John Walker being like, oh, I'm Captain America, I have to come in and
I have to be this.
I have to be this icon and the symbol. Then he realizes, oh, this is gonna be a lot more difficult than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Which I think that's gonna play into everything too.
Yeah, and then Bucky gets arrested because he has a warrant out because he didn't go to therapy or whatever. And John Walker's the guy who bails him out, which is like, And then the episode ends with a big old, like, kind of hint towards where John Walker's heading. He's like, if you ain't gonna help,
stay the fuck out of my way.
Yeah, if you ain't gonna help me, get the fuck out of my way. And it's like, shit,
he's gonna be a big asshole.
That's where it's heading.
Which is understandable. Because he's Captain America now. He's got the entire weight of the country on his shoulders, and he has to live up to Steve Rogers. And both Bucky and Sam do not give a fuck.
Steve Rogers' best friends
about him or anything he's trying to do or anything he's trying to be or like anything. Like he even says early on, because they meet, and he's like, "Look, I'm not trying to be Steve. Like I'm trying to do my own thing or whatever." And they just don't care. And so I think his kind of arc is going to be about like, I'm going to make people care about me as Captain America.
Also love, I think it's in episode 2, Bucky's just like, we should just take the shield. And Sam's like,
why don't we just take it? It's like, remember last time we took it?
Yeah.
It became fucking war criminals and shit. Like,
It's like it seems like we can't just go beat him up and take it.
Yeah.
Like, but do you think they're going to come to blows in this show?
Cap and
Bucky and Sam.
I think at some point. Oh, Bucky and Sam.
Bucky, Sam, and Cap. I didn't say it because you said it.
I think possibly, yeah.
You think?
I think maybe the last episode will end with him getting all juiced up, and then they have to fight him, and then he becomes crazy.
I think it's going to be more Bucky than Sam, but I can see Bucky.
I'd like to see them working together.
Yeah, but I feel like if he's juiced up, it's definitely not to be Bucky.
Well, yeah, Bucky's going to do a lot of it.
Yeah. And then in this episode, the very end of this episode is like Sam and Bucky talking like, we gotta find somebody who knows about Hydra. And then we gotta go talk to Zemo.
Yeah.
Fucking Zemo. And that's the whole episode 3 is about
My name is Zemo.
I love fucking Zemo in the show. I don't know why.
He's great.
I love him in the MCU, honestly. He's so good.
He's fucking really good.
He's intimidating, but also like...
He's intimidating because he's got that look on his face where it's like you don't know if he's fully on your side.
Yeah, he's like...
You don't know he's going to fuck you over either, but he's kind of... You kind of like him because he's kind of charming about either way. And it's like if he just betrayed you or whatever, you'd be like, that motherfucker. Like, all right, yeah, like, I get it, but like,
guy.
fuck. God damn it.
That guy. The whole episode is them trying to find where the super soldier serum came from. And they find discount Jesse Eisenberg, who...
Yeah, he was very much like Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh yeah, I made it from some guy's blood that had this part of it in it. And then Zemo just fucking shoots him.
Which makes sense, because his whole thing is we gotta get rid of the super soldier.
Yeah, he just shoots him and then burns the place down.
Yeah.
It's like, goddamn. And they meet Sharon Carter, who, by the way, no one helped her after Civil War.
I think she's gonna be a bad guy.
You think she's gonna be a bad guy?
Yeah, she's pissed.
Yeah.
They just abandoned her for 5+ years because who knows if she got blipped or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
So like they just didn't check it. Like if she did get blipped away and Cap never checked in on her, she would be like, fuck all of you people.
Right.
Fuck all of this. I'm living in a fucking shitty slum. Like, fuck this.
I helped you and you didn't come back to help me.
Yeah. Like everyone else got pardoned, but not me.
All right.
Like that, and that's a really interesting thing.
It definitely could be like the end of the season. Sam is trying to get her to be pardoned. He can't. Like something happens, possibly, he can't get her pardoned, and then maybe season 2 she becomes a bad.
It'd be cool if she
got
her. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And then they keep going to that lady in the Flag Smashers. I don't care about her that much.
I care a little bit more about her as the show goes on. They are doing a good job of trying to make them a little more sympathetic than most MCU villains. They're trying to give them kind of a reason why they're doing what they're doing, and it's not just, oh, we're bad guys. There's actually like a reason. I don't care all that much.
I know like their motivation is like, hey, it was better during the blip. We want to go back to that, where there's like no leaders or whatever in the world. But I don't care about the characters though.
Well, yeah, I'm not super invested in like, oh man, I hope they get away with it. Like,
yeah.
I don't really care all that much.
I don't care,
but that's fine because I think there's more in the show that's more interesting than them. I think they're just kind of the...
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in Sam, Bucky, Zemo, and John Walker.
Yeah.
So. And I can't wait, because I think they said the next episode 4, is mostly about John Walker, and I'm excited about that.
Dog.
So.
It's going to be fun, because I love Wyatt Russell in that role.
Oh, yeah. He's great.
so fucking good.
He's great.
He sounds so much like his dad.
And apparently, he's getting death threats for...
Yeah.
And he came out I think it was yesterday, he came out and was like, I love it. Like, I think it's awesome.
Which is cool, and that's why I love Wyatt Russell, because he seems like the guy's like, all right, cool, I don't give a shit.
I think he also knows, like, if he does become a villain, he's like, all right, I'm doing a good job. Like, people hate me.
Yeah, people hate me. That's good.
Like, that's the whole point.
Like, all right, cool.
So,
but like, y'all need to stop with these fucking death threats. All right, like, chill.
Like, like you have nothing better to do than.
He's been in 3 episodes of a show.
That and like even different movies and stuff. You don't need to threaten to kill people over a job in a movie,
over a fictional role. Like, come on now.
Yeah, that's some bullshit right there. That's stupid.
It's real dumb.
But the first half is great. Hopefully,
so far it's great. I hope they don't fuck up the finale like they did with WandaVision.
Hopefully not.
I don't think they will, because I think this show's a little bit more simple. And because the problem I had with the WandaVision finale was that it became something different by the end than it was for the rest of the show. This show seems like, oh, we know what we're gonna get. It's not just gonna like out of nowhere. There's like witches and shit flying around. It's like, all right, we know.
Also, I forgot to mention, episode 3 had a mini cameo with Wakandan showing up, which is pretty cool. And apparently, there's also a cameo of somebody in episode 5. I have no idea who it is.
I don't know.
Paul Bettany said it's him, but I think he's just fucking with him.
He's fucking with him.
It'd be funny if it was Vision. And he was like, I told you, I was telling the truth.
I was telling the truth for once.
I don't know why Vision would show up. It'd be weird, but...
I don't know, sure, hey, there's Vision.
I know you were saying you were hoping... Not hoping, but it'd be cool if it was Chadwick Boseman, but...
Yeah, unfortunately, they couldn't do that.
They couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I have a feeling you were right, though. Maybe they kind of wanted him for that role.
If they could have used him,
this
they would
episode.
have. They definitely would have.
Yeah, because that would have made... I don't know. Are him and Bucky on good terms now? I don't know.
He unfroze Bucky.
He did.
He's the one who was like, "Hey, you're gonna help us."
But when he
fight.
learns, like, hey, you broke Zemo out of prison, is he?
Well, he might be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you,
yeah,
fucker?
You killed my dad.
You're dead." So maybe he wouldn't at that point. But
also, don't know that chick's name.
I don't think she's ever been named in the movie. She's been in like 3 of them, but they've never said like who she was.
Yeah, she's like Black Panther's like a guard.
She's one of the Dora Milaje.
Yeah.
Would have been cool if it was Okoye.
Yeah, because I know Okoye. I know who she is.
Yeah.
But I guess they got to flesh out more characters.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, so far, I give it a thumbs up.
It's really, really good.
2 thumbs up. See how the second half goes.
Really, really good.
Are you ready to get into movie news? Or is
into the movie news. That's the movie news song.
Oh.
I'm not going to remember it when we do it next time, so I'm just going to make another one.
You got to copyright.
We'll make a new song every week. Because I am not going to remember that at all.
I actually don't have any movie news. I have
serious?
I have Star Wars, Marvel, and DC, but I don't have any movie
Shit,
news.
I got some movie news.
I don't have any more.
Starting with there's a Jim Carrey movie. It's coming out. It's getting a sequel. It's your favorite movie. Ace Ventura 3.
I haven't seen the second one, but speaking of butts, he crawls out of one in that.
It's a fake butt, but yeah.
Why? Why are you bringing that back?
That's the thing now.
I guess.
Comedy movies. But here's the thing. Every comedy that's gotten a sequel 30 years later has been terrible. Anchorman 2 was bad. Zoolander 2 was bad. Dumb and Dumber 2 was bad. And it sucks so much that Jim Carrey has just reverted back to just, I'm a goofy idiot now. Because seeing him in Sonic the Hedgehog and seeing him in Dumb and Dumber 2 as an old man still just being a goober, like,
that
really,
makes you sad?
It makes me sad because he's a very talented actor. And it sucks that he's one of those actors that, like, he tried to be in, like, serious movies and everyone's like, no, I don't want that. Be a goofy idiot. And then they complain that he's a goofy idiot and everything. So it's like he can't win, ever.
Well, I have some Jim Carrey news later that may change your mind.
Oh, shit.
So, we'll get to that later.
We'll get into that later. But do you give a shit at all about Ace Ventura?
No.
I don't think Ace Ventura is something that could work nowadays because the first one's very offensive.
It is.
And the second one's also pretty fucking offensive. So it's like, unless they're just going to PC it up, or they could make that the joke, is that he's a very un-PC person now living in a PC time. Like, maybe they could do something like that. Social commentary.
Calling for Ace Ventura 3, though?
Not really.
Exactly.
There was technically an Ace Ventura 3, Ace Ventura Jr. It was straight to DVD, and it was like his son or whatever. But
they're like, we don't.
I guess that's not canon anymore.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that movie.
We push that to the side.
So I guess that isn't canon, I guess.
Probably not.
I don't give a shit about Ace Ventura 3.
I don't either.
So.
Like I said, I haven't seen the second one. I only watched the first one because it was on TV one day. That's the only reason.
Yeah, I made you watch it.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of bullshit sequels that we don't care about, Puss in Boots 2 is coming next year.
Really?
Hmm?
Wow. They just can't.
No, this is fake.
They just can't let that franchise die.
No, but Shrek will never die.
Shrek will never die.
We're revisiting that universe.
Are they bringing back what's his face?
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
They have to. He's Puss in Boots.
They can't get something.
They are not. His voice, man. He is Puss in Boots.
He is Puss in Boots.
I am Puss in Boots.
I need to go back and watch.
I haven't seen the Puss in Boots movie.
We need to go back and watch the first couple Shrek movies.
I want to watch the first 2 because I remember them being good ones.
Yeah,
I don't care about the other ones.
We gotta go back and watch those. Maybe this week we'll go back.
Not this week. I don't care about watching this week.
Well, if you ain't doing nothing,
Sure.
we'll see. But
Are you gonna watch Puss in Boots? Because I haven't seen Puss in
I
Boots.
haven't. I don't really care to watch it, but
It's part of the universe. It's part of the
so
canon.
was the other 2 Shrek movies.
Yeah. If we're watching the first 2, we might as well watch all of them.
Oh yeah, we can watch the first 2, or we can watch all 5. 5? There's 4 Shrek movies, right?
I think so, yeah.
And then Puss in Boots.
And then Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots is a spin-off, but it's in the universe.
I only have seen the 4th Shrek. I know I've seen the first 3.
I've seen the first 3.
I haven't seen Puss in Boots, so
I haven't either.
I don't know what Puss in Boots 2 would be.
Just more Puss in Boots, doing Puss in Boots stuff.
Doing more cat stuff. Hacking up hairballs. And
being a blatant Zorro ripoff.
Wasn't there a show about him?
Puss in Boots? I think Nickelodeon did something with him. I think there was a show, actually. Yeah, I think...
I was going to say.
I think you're right. There might have been one. I don't fucking
Go watch that, too.
That's not canon. And even if it is, I ain't watching it, so...
I'm surprised they didn't just announce, hey, we're doing Shrek 5 or whatever. I'm surprised they didn't announce
Yeah, I feel like that would make a lot more sense.
I feel like that'd make more money in terms of box
Maybe they don't want to work with Mike Myers.
Maybe. Maybe he's got allegations. He's
like, I need $150 million to come back. And it's like, what?
No, like he's like a...
Oh, he's like a rapist.
Yeah.
Or
He's like a
fuck someone's
or
baby.
something.
Yeah, he fucked someone's kid or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was doing those awful Wayne's World commercials. So he's too busy doing that, I guess, to be in Shrek 5.
I'm trying to get to Papa John's level. Commercial. That's where I'm going.
Oh, I thought you meant being racist.
Oh. It's probably... that too.
I gotta be the best racist in Hollywood.
I gotta beat out the best.
I gotta beat Mel Gibson. I gotta beat Papa John.
To be the best, I gotta beat the best.
Isn't that a song?
Possibly.
Be the best, gotta pass. Isn't that a thing?
Probably.
I don't know.
There's a song about everything. So.
Sure. I might have just made that up. Speaking of making shit up, apparently, this isn't 100% official, but Sylvester Stallone has been talking about it, and he said he wants to do it.
It's official.
And apparently he wrote like a treatment for it. Rocky prequel series.
Ew. Is he gonna be Rocky, I guess? Because he
can't
DH his ass? Like, what?
No, this is gonna be Rocky like in high school.
The fuck? No, don't do this.
And because like he put a treatment out for it, and he was describing it. It's a young Rocky, post Rocky or pre Rocky 1. He's very young, and it's about like him and like how him and everybody else like met in high school and his life before.
I don't give a shit.
Him dealing with his brothers, like doing shit or whatever.
Make Creed 3 and end it.
They are making Creed 3.
Don't do any more after that. Just finish it.
But I don't know if this won't happen because no one's gonna greenlight this. And also, that Rocky 7 movie that he wanted to make, I guess that's not happening anymore.
Good.
I think he's just at that point where he's just an old man. And he's just like, Rocky in space. And everyone's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? No,
let it die.
Just let it die, Stallone. Like, all right. But speaking of Creed 3, Michael B. Jordan confirmed to direct.
He's going to direct it and star in it?
Creed 3, hell yeah.
That's going to be cool.
That's what Stallone did with Rocky.
That's going to be cool.
He directed, like, most of them.
But everybody's as good as Creed 2. Creed 2's fan-fucking-tastic.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, I'm excited about that. I don't care about Rocky 7 or prequel Rocky series or whatever.
Young Rocky doing young Rocky.
It's like young Indiana Jones. Like, nobody cares about young Indiana Jones.
It's like young Sheldon.
Nobody cares. Yeah. Well, here we go. Like, we've done young characters and nobody cares about
That's
it.
the thing now.
Rocky's living in the past. Or Rocky's still just
yeah, he's at the end of his life. I'm sure he's like, hey, let's make Rocky again.
Let's go back to the 90s.
Where's Demolition Man 2? All right.
He ain't doing that either.
Where's Judge Dredd 2?
I can see that working.
Where's Over the Top 2?
Over the Top?
Yeah.
What the hell's that?
It's him. He's like an arm wrestle professional, and he just goes to a series of arm wrestling competitions.
I thought you were going to say Over the Hedge. I'm like, he's not in that movie. Wait, is he in that movie? Is he the bear?
For some reason, I thought he was.
Is he
this moment you said that, I was like, oh no, he's in that, but I don't know.
Is he the bear in that movie?
The bear, Over the Hedge. There's a bear.
The one that the raccoon guy was like, hey, I stole all your food and then I wrecked it.
I don't remember Over the Hedge.
I gotta look it up now. But he might be in that.
I think you might be thinking of Open Season with Martin Lawrence and Ashton Kutcher.
Over the Hedge cast. Let's see.
He might be in it. It's possible. I don't remember this.
No, he's not in this that I can tell. Who was I thinking of then? Oh, Nick Nolte is the bear.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
Anyways, moving on.
Moving on to some other crazy shit. Apparently, the director of the first John Wick is making a Ghost of Tsushima movie for Sony.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. That's a video game, right?
Yes, came out last year.
Every video game movie makes bank.
Well, it's just like there's clearly they're trying to revitalize the video game movie genre, which doesn't make any sense because previously none of them had made any money or been good.
Because is it Ghost in the Shell? That was a video.
That was an anime.
Oh, that was an anime. Yeah, you're right.
But like and they're doing it with like Mortal Kombat, and they're bringing back like they're doing Uncharted and all this stuff. But like, I would think that they would want to wait
until those
to see how Mortal Kombat and Uncharted do before they're just like, let's just fucking do every video game ever. Because like if Mortal Kombat comes out and it does well and people are like, oh, this is really good, then you can be like, oh, we can make a video game movie now. But if both of those movies come out and they suck, it's like, who's gonna give a shit about Ghost of Tsushima?
Oh, who's gonna give a shit about it even if they're good, honestly?
If they're good movies, like, they're good movies.
I think more people care about Mortal Kombat than do about Ghost of Tsushima.
Well, they do because Mortal Kombat's been around long.
Exactly.
It's a big franchise.
Honestly,
and there's been 2 attempts already to make a movie.
The trailers don't look terrible for that movie.
Mortal Kombat looks fine. It looks good.
Uncharted, I don't care.
I'm interested in it. I'm interested to see how Tom Holland plays Nathan Drake.
Especially since you said Mark Wahlberg's going to be in this.
Mark Wahlberg as Sully is the worst casting decision in the history of casting. That is, whoever came up with that is a moron.
It's like nobody else showed up, so you get the job.
It's like, oh, I'm Mark Wahlberg. And it's like, that's not Sully. Right?
You're not playing Mark Wahlberg, Mark.
But I'm Mark Wahlberg.
I get that.
And I got a mustache.
King Shark is a shark, but...
But he's not Mark Wahlberg. I'm Mark Wahlberg.
I'm Mark Wahlberg. It's fine, you get the job. Shut up.
All right,
Get out of my office.
He showed up and just said that, wouldn't leave him alone. And I was like, fine, you got it, get out.
Get out of my office. Go home.
That's probably when
I was in Transformers 5.
I was in Transformers. It's like, yeah, you were in the 2 worst ones.
I was in Planet of the Apes.
In the worst ones.
I see a trend here.
Yeah. Stop casting Mark Wahlberg for your franchises, all right? He's never been in a good franchise. He's been in good movies, but he's never been in good franchises.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So,
do they want to make Uncharted a franchise?
Yeah, you're goddamn right they do.
Hey, it's Sony. What am I talking about?
Goddamn right they do. They need fucking something.
Got Jumanji.
But, I mean, like, if Ghost of Tsushima is, like, an awesome, like, stylish as fuck throwback to, like, old samurai movies, that could be a lot of fun.
It could be.
But if it's just, like, a generic action movie, if it's, like, 47 Ronin or anything, like, I'm not gonna care. Because 47 Ronin was a piece of trash.
If Sony's doing it, it's gonna be a generic action.
God damn it. Don't do that. And don't put Keanu Reeves in it.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Don't. He's not Asian.
They'll just be Keanu Reeves in the movie.
I mean, that's what he was in 47 Ronin.
Exactly.
It was like, oh, he's a half-breed. And I'm like, he's not. No,
he's a half-breed.
That's what they did. That's how they got around it. They're like, oh, he's mixed or whatever. And I'm like, that fuck's not Asian. Don't do that.
They call him a half-breed?
Yeah, they call him that at one point in the movie. He's like, oh, he's the half-breed or whatever.
This sounds so racist.
And it's like, all right.
Like, he's not good enough. Half of him isn't.
Yeah, that's literally how they treat him at the start of the movie. Is like, he's like shunned from Japan because he's like a half-breed or whatever.
He's a half-breed.
Like, all right.
Wow.
Piece of
I
shit.
learned something new today.
It's real dumb.
That sounds dumb.
That movie's terrible. Unlike the original 47 Ronin movie, which is a kick-ass fucking movie.
All right. Continue.
That's it. That's all the movie news.
That's all the movie
I have
news.
one piece of TV news, though.
All right, hit me.
Might not interest anyone.
Smack me in the face with it.
I care about it, so I'm going to talk
Get
about
a bat, just whack me with it.
If I had a bat, I would.
All right.
But I don't.
What is it?
Witcher Season 2 has finished filming.
Oh, yeah.
Finally. Jesus fucking Christ. It's felt like 10 years since Season 1.
They gotta make it good, all right? Season 1 came out like, what, a year ago?
2019.
Makes sense for a TV show.
Sure. Fucking pump the shit out. I want to watch this, all right?
You're sitting there like, Mandalorian has had 2 seasons since you...
Yeah. Like, you tell me you can't... I know Witcher's like a bigger budget thing, but goddamn, Netflix.
You're gonna send an angry letter to Netflix. God damn it.
Pump this shit out quicker. I want to watch
You
this.
canceled Daredevil. Fucking get The Witcher.
I don't want to wait 4 years for Season 3, all right? But they're finished filming. They haven't put a release date on Season 2 yet.
What if it sucks?
But it's possible.
I still haven't watched.
I don't think it will because Season 1 was great.
I still haven't watched the first season. That's also on my list of things.
And apparently they've been talking about like wanting to do like bigger stuff and more and kind of more interesting.
That makes sense. Henry Cavill loves that stuff.
And yeah, he's all going home about it too. So I have a feeling Season 2 will be a lot better. And I hope it is. Because
I want to watch Season 1 because I like the world. I think
Season
awesome.
1's great.
I'm gonna watch it. It's on my list.
It's confusing as fuck though, but it's great.
Confusing as fuck. Am I gonna understand what's going on?
If you're paying attention, you will. Once it all wraps up at the last episode, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I got it."
I get it.
But as you're watching it, there's gonna be some points where you're like, "What's going on right now?
What is this?"
But at the end, it all ties together, and you have to be paying attention like all the way.
Am I gonna know without playing the games What's going on?
Most of it. I mean, some of this they don't explain like what all the little like incantations the Witcher does, but you don't really need to know. But like the general plot, like they go, hey, this is what's happening. So like you'll get.
I wonder if Netflix is still doing that Assassin's Creed show.
I don't know. They were talking about it.
I'm interested in that. If they can do The Witcher well, I think they could do Assassin's Creed.
They could totally do an Assassin's Creed show well. Get Henry Cavill for that too.
He'd be a jacked, giant assassin.
You goddamn right.
He can't blend it. Yeah, he can't blend it.
Like,
at
hey,
all.
who murdered the president? Probably that.
There's a guy who's a head taller
wearing
than
all
everybody.
white, and he stands out like a motherfucker. He's 6'8". He's jacked.
6'8". I don't think he's 6'8".
He's pretty big.
He's like 6'3".
6'2", 6'3". Like he's pretty big.
Sorry,
and he's jacked.
Sorry if you can hear the train.
Yeah, there's a fucking train. Don't they know that we're doing a podcast?
They're early too. It's only 8:30.
God damn it! So they're purposely trying to sabotage our podcast.
Usually come at 9.
Fucker.
I don't know if the mic is powerful enough to pick it up, but it might be.
Probably. If it's not picking up, then what train?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
You brought it up. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's on my TV news.
It's on your TV news. I got TV news, but it's for Star Wars. So I put it in my Star Wars news.
What's your Marvel news?
Go with Marvel first.
Marvel.
Marvel.
Or I guess we start with Star Wars, don't we? Usually before
I
Marvel.
don't do whatever we want. It's our podcast.
I'm sure.
Star Wars or Marvel?
I already did the Marvel thing,
right.
so just fuck it.
Fuck it. Do you want the Jim Carrey news now, or you want it later?
It's right now. I want it now.
It's Marvel related.
I want it all over me.
It's nothing's confirmed or anything. It's a rumor.
Okay.
But
Is he like the Green Goblin or some shit?
he might be a villain for Deadpool 3.
I heard about this.
How do you feel about that?
Don't fucking want that.
You don't want that?
I don't want that because he's not going to be a villain. He's going to be Jim Carrey.
What if he's being a serious actor?
And I don't. They're not going to let him. Ryan Reynolds, if Ryan Reynolds is like, hey, we're going to get Jim Carrey, he's going to be like, go as over the top as you fucking can. I would love if he did like a Kick-Ass 2 thing where he was kind of more serious and a little bit more sinister. But that never, like, no one cares when Jim Carrey does that. Ever.
This could be his breakout thing.
Deadpool 3, he's already tried it like 5 times and no one's cared.
This is a big movie.
And it's going to be Deadpool, and I have a feeling they're going to make it even more silly and goofy anyway. So, I don't know. Who would he be?
I don't know. Some guy. Deadpool doesn't have, like, villains. He's
Not really.
He just does stuff.
Sure.
Like, and who's the villain in Deadpool 2? Nobody. Really.
Technically, if that guy is Mr. Sinister, then it's Mr. Sinister, but it's technically Russell.
Sure. You could also say it's the pedophile
Juggernaut.
priest. People.
That's what I'm talking about. Apparently, he's Mr. Sinister.
Oh, I didn't know he was supposed to be Mr.
Everyone says that, like, that's probably Mr.
He's Mephisto.
Probably. At this point, anyone in any Marvel...
They'll
movie is
retcon
Mephisto.
it so he's Mephisto in the MCU.
Well, he's dead, so...
They'll retcon again.
He'll come back. It'll be like in Spirit of Vengeance when they just recast the devil. And he's just like, I just take up another form. And that guy, by the way, the devil in Spirit of Vengeance, is Steppenwolf.
Because everybody remembers...
Ciarán Hinds.
Everybody remembers his role in Ghost Rider 2.
You should.
We watched that the other day.
That was like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I know. It was the other day. It was a day ago.
It was another day. It wasn't the other day.
It was the day before the other day.
It was a few days before the other day.
Black Widow got pushed to July 9th, which don't know if anybody knew about that. It's also going on Disney Plus. So
They finally caved and was like, fine, we have to put this fucking thing
and
in.
theaters are pissed about it, apparently.
I'm sure they are, because that was like the last hope. They were like, we know for a fact Black Widow's coming out, so we're going to stay in business at least until that comes out. And now it's like, well, no one's going to go see it in theaters.
It'll be officially 2 years since the last Marvel movie came out in theaters, because Far From Home came out in July of 2019. So be exactly 2 years since then. It won't be the first Marvel property because WandaVision.
Well, yeah.
Falcon
That's going to be interesting. I want to see post WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier if Marvel movies are still going to work. Because I think it's always been a weird decision for them to go, oh, we're going to do movies and TV shows and not just focus on one or the other. Because if we're getting, like, if theaters do come back and they start putting movies out in theaters, we're getting weekly Marvel stuff almost like every week now. So it's going to be like, who gives a shit about going to the theater when I could just sit down and watch 6 hours of a Marvel thing on Disney Plus?
Well, I think the movies will still do the overarching storyline of whatever they're doing, and then the shows will be more smaller stuff. Because WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. You don't think it'll connect to overarching things?
Not in the future, like not going forward.
The end credit
it's
scene.
post the post credit scene, but that's 2 seconds.
I'm just saying.
It's possible, but
whatever.
But I'm just looking at like from a general audience perspective, where they're like, oh, but there's Marvel movies in theaters, but I'm getting Marvel on Disney Plus, so like I just watch this.
I don't think
like,
Black Widow.
It's kind of a weird move.
I don't think Black Widow would be the movie to watch for that, because if it's the first movie people are going to go back to see, it's going to have a little overinflation, you know what I mean? Because people are like, oh, theaters are back open.
True,
so
that's fair.
So I'd say maybe maybe Eternals,
Eternals or Shang-Chi or some shit.
Shang-Chi or Spider-Man or whatever. Unless the trailer comes out for Spider-Man's multiverse, that's also going to be fucking.
Well, that's gonna blow up. Everyone's like, oh shit, Tobey Maguire's in it. Fuck, everyone's gonna go see that.
Yeah, everybody's gonna lose their goddamn mind.
Pretend like it's the best movie ever, even though it's not.
It could be the best Spider-Man movie ever. It could be.
It'll be Homecoming and Far From Home again, just with more Spider-Man.
It'll be Spider-Verse.
Exactly. We saw that movie already, and it was great.
It was great. It's the best Spider-Man movie.
Exactly.
To date.
So I don't need to say it again.
We got something. I think you may have heard about this from the WandaVision director, but he says that the Ralph Boner twist was inspired by the Mandarin in Iron Man 3.
Of course it was.
His favorite scene of the movie.
Of course it was. That was very fucking obvious. Fuck everything about that Ralph Boner shit. Right? It was done well in Iron Man 3 because you did it with a character that no one cared about, and they weren't trying to cock tease the audience.
And it also wasn't introduced previously.
Yeah, it's not like they brought back Ironmonger and then was like, oh, it turns out I'm just a dickhead. Like, the casting of Evan Peters in WandaVision was a strategic move. I don't care what they say. I know they've said that, like, oh, we just kind of casted him. That's bullshit. That's total fucking bullshit. That no one thought, hey, some people might think that this is X, because that's the... Like, you're telling me no, Kevin Feige didn't go, well, he was also an X-Men. They might think it's that Quicksilver. We might have to tread lightly with this a little bit. Like, no one thought that. That's a bunch of bullshit.
I 100% think they're going to retcon it.
They will.
The outrage that happened with it, they're going to retcon.
They definitely will. And then the defenders of it will be like, oh, so they all had a plan. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
All of this is bullshit.
I smell bullshit, and that's it right
I smelled bullshit for quite a while. It's a bunch of bullshit.
I don't know where they're going to retcon it at.
They'll bring him back at some point in some movie, and they'll be like, oh, I changed my name to Ralph Boner for some fucking reason. But I'm actually Pietro.
All right, look. I thought about it. This is how you could easily do it. Wanda changes things in the dome anyways. Just make it to where, oh yeah, she just changed his house, and that picture wasn't the picture that is in the real.
But how did he get into the MCU?
The X-Men stuff? You can explain that whatever way you want to.
I'm just saying he went into the MCU and just got a house.
To explain the Ralph, he could be Jimmy Woo's witness protection dude or whatever. I don't know.
Quicksilver?
I don't know.
They also said that was going to be explained, and I'm like, we don't need that explained. Like, who was that going to be? It's just going to be some guy. Like,
it could be Quicksilver. I don't know. I'm just saying to explain the Ralph Boner thing. You just explain
I guess. I don't want it to be explained because it was dumb. Like, don't try to retcon it. Either own up to it or you shouldn't have did it at all. Like, don't try to be like, oh, well, actually, we're doing this shit now. Blah, 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 blah. His name was different because Wanda changed it. It's like, that's dumb.
I'm just saying.
They could do that, and they probably very much will, but I don't want them to.
It's like, okay, you're just going to, like, leave that? That's where you leave that? It's just that, and you're never going to come up with it, bring it back ever again or anything like that?
If he's not Quicksilver like they say, don't touch it. They fucked it up.
Just leave it.
Leave it. Don't bring it up ever again.
Well.
I don't want to see Ralph Boner pop up in like Spider-Man 3 and just like, oh hey, I'm Ralph Boner again.
I'm Ralph, but he just says that. I'm Ralph Boner, by the way.
Boner, or he shows up in like a TV in the background.
Ralph Boner.
Because he's an actor.
He sells condoms.
That would be genius. That would be genius.
I'm Ralph Boner, here for your protection.
Don't do that.
And this is my last piece of Marvel news. Ryan Coogler has come out and said some things about Black Panther.
Oh, I thought the way you phrased that, I was like, what the fuck did Ryan Coogler say? Is he canceled now too?
Oh god, no.
Ryan Coogler came out and said, fuck white people.
He came out of the closet now.
Fuck the Jews.
Ryan Coogler, he said he's confident Black Panther will remain a focal point for the MCU going forward after Black Panther 2. And he says that if Chadwick Boseman knew that he was going to go out, he said that Chadwick would want them to continue Black Panther without him.
Probably because a lot of people don't realize that a lot of stuff in the solo Black Panther movie came from Chadwick Boseman. Like, he had a big hand in like the writing process as well. And like that moment that him and Killmonger have at the end, that line that Killmonger says, apparently Chadwick Boseman was like, he should probably say something like this. So like, he was very much involved in that movie, and he cared a lot about that movie. So that makes sense that he would want to just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm dead. Continue it. Like,
yeah,
do more.
And Ryan Coogler said it's been difficult to be working on Black Panther 2. I think he's in the writing process
Probably,
or something.
Yeah, because it's going to be interesting to see how they do that. Because I've seen people talking about it, like, are they going to bring back Michael B. Jordan and have him be Black Panther? Right. Are they going to do it with Shuri? How are they going to do it with Shuri? Like, what can they do?
I think personally they should just get some other guy to be Black Panther and be like, all right.
But see, that's the thing, though, because that's when we get into... No one's going to be happy with that.
No.
Even if he's a good T'Challa...
I don't think he should be T'Challa. I think some
Black Panther.
To be Black Panther. And just say T'Challa's running Wakanda or whatever.
I could see that. I think it'd be a little weird to just bring in a new character and be like,
it would be weird.
Black Panther now.
But it's special circumstances.
I think just make it Shuri.
I don't want Shuri to be Black
Panther. Like, her
I don't like movie, Shuri.
But her movie could be her going from a snot-nosed
completely
kid to becoming an adult.
If they completely change the character, maybe.
Like, that could be her arc throughout the movie.
But as of right now, I don't like her.
Yeah, I don't like her in Black Panther, but she could change throughout the movie.
She can.
And then by the end, she is this kind of... She's an adult, and she's not like a fucking quippy idiot anymore.
She can.
Like, that could be her journey.
But as of right now, I'm going to say no to that. I'd rather them bring back Michael B. Jordan from the dead somehow.
I don't want that.
Do that.
You chose to kill him. He's dead.
Yeah,
I don't want some kind of weird resurrection shit.
It's a special circumstance. Like, okay, we didn't know Chadwick Boseman was going to pass away.
But that, like, no. He died, and his death, if you bring him back, and he's all of a sudden just like, okay, I'll be Black Panther now, I guess. That completely goes against his entire character and the ending of his character. He was like, I'd rather die than live in a world where I'm not free or whatever. Like, that was his whole thing. I don't think he would... Because he showed up to Wakanda and was like, hey, y'all abandoned me. Fuck y'all. Like, he wouldn't just be like, all right, I guess I'm Black Panther now. Like, that'd be a little weird. Yeah. If he just comes back.
That's why I said I think the best case scenario is to get a guy to be the new Black Panther.
You can make it M'Baku. Because they're not going to make him Man-Ape.
You could.
They're not going to call him Man-Ape.
You could.
He's a little too big, but you could do it.
I don't know where they're going to go with it, honestly.
I don't know.
I have faith that they will have respect for Chadwick Boseman and what he's done. But
I hope so. I hope they've already said they're not going to like CG him, which is good. I don't think.
I think T'Challa will be mentioned in the movie, but I don't know if he'll show up.
I think they're going to keep him alive. I don't think they're going to kill Black Panther.
I don't think so either.
I think they're going to keep him around like he's doing shit. He's running Wakanda or whatever.
Yeah.
It could be. I don't know what they're going to do with Bucky in Winter Soldier, because I know recently in a couple episodes they've been referencing the White Wolf thing a whole lot more. I don't know if they're going to, like, if by the end of the show he's called White Wolf now. But if they somehow did the traditional White Wolf story from the comics, that would honestly be kind of neat for them to do for a sequel to Black Panther. Where, like, White Wolf was he was adopted by T'Challa's family, and he grew up and he was kind of like the bastard kid. And then he comes up and he has to kind of, like, prove himself, and it's kind of what they did with Killmonger a little bit, where he kind of like hates Wakanda because of how they treated him, but he kind of has sort of a redemption arc, and you could do something with that. But it'd be a little weird if all of a sudden there's just this guy that we just didn't know about, who's been here, who's been related to T'Challa this whole time, but we've never heard about him. So it's like it's gonna be kind of weird how they handle it.
I mean, you can always write something good if you have enough time and enough.
You could, yeah, and I have faith that they'll make something good. I just don't want it to be like I understand it's a rare circumstance because Chadwick Boseman died, but like I just don't want it to be like, oh, I'm just some random guy and I'm here now and I'm Black Panther. Like I just don't want it to be that like random and I don't know.
Again, I think they would have a little bit more respect of introducing a new person.
What if they made Lupita Nyong'o Black Panther?
They could do that. I'd be okay with that.
That'd be neat because like what else are they gonna do with that character? Because she showed up, she hasn't shown up since.
Like, I would be okay if Okoye became Black Panther, honestly. That'd be awesome.
That'd be really cool.
I'd much rather have her than Shuri. So
you can do a lot of stuff.
Or
do my idea and do a T'Chaka prequel with him as Black Panther. Because they just kind of glossed over that.
They did.
The movie. Like, that would be fun.
This is called Black Panther 2, so it'd be weird.
They could call it. They could give it a subtitle.
They could.
Black Panther 1991. Pull Wonder Woman.
Pull Wonder.
Yeah.
Black Panther 91.
Black Panther 91. Fucking A, man.
Don't do that.
Hip hop music, Run DMC everywhere.
Don't. It'd be hilarious if they did that and then they just like made it better than Wonder Woman. Like not.
It would be better.
But like they did like the wacky, goofy satire crap, and they just did that through the whole movie.
Oh, like they made fun of the 90s?
Yes.
I don't know if I want that. Not for Black Panther, anyway.
I don't either, but it'd be kind of funny.
It would be hilarious if they did it better than
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. Because Wonder Woman didn't even try.
No. He tried for like 10 minutes in the beginning.
Yeah.
That was it. Do you got any Marvel news though?
Russell Crowe has been cast in Thor 4.
Oh, yeah, that's
as
right.
a mysterious role. Nobody knows.
Nobody
knows who he is.
Because he gave up on DC. He's not in DC, really.
He's in one movie.
Yeah. Was he in BVS?
No.
I don't know why I thought he was. But I don't know who he is.
Beta Ray Bill. Make him Beta Ray Bill.
His voice. I don't want his body.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be
He's
mocap.
Schlub.
He's gonna be CG anyway. They could give him whatever body he wants.
That's true.
It'll be like a Rocket Raccoon type of thing, where somebody else does the body, and then he just comes in and puts his name on it and takes all the credit for it.
Yeah, do that.
Do
I
that.
really don't think they're gonna put Beta Ray Bill in that.
Do it.
I mean, maybe,
Why not?
but I don't know. Because they just don't want him, man. They don't want him.
Why the fuck not?
I don't know.
If we can have a talking raccoon, we can have a big talking.
They teased him in
horseman.
Ragnarok. They put
He's in the universe.
They put the statue in there.
I'd like to see him.
Be awesome.
I want to see him and Thor and the Guardians have a tea party.
Have a tea.
No, just sitting around.
Sipping on the tea.
What the fuck are we watching right now? It's like, who knows?
I don't know, but Taika did it.
Taika did it, so fuck it.
Anything else?
Not in the Marvel space.
All right, well then what are we doing next?
Star Wars news?
Star Wars news. I got a little bit.
It's the Star Wars.
Do you want to do live action or animated stuff first?
I don't give a shit. Whatever you want to do.
We'll do animated stuff first.
Okay. Is there animated Star Wars news?
Just one.
Okay.
So the Bad Batch releases May 4th. Star Wars Day.
I totally forgot this was coming out.
Star Wars Day, and the premiere 70 goddamn minutes. It's an hour and 10 minute premiere. Yeah.
Wow. That's neat.
Yeah,
it's a fucking movie.
Basically.
That's interesting.
It is. I think there was a promo shot of, I think it's Captain Rex with the Bad Batch. So I don't know when this takes place.
Who went with the Bad Batch
that was,
at the end? Was that Echo?
I
or
think
Fives
so.
or whatever?
No, it was Echo. Fives died.
Echo?
Fives died, so it was Echo.
Yeah, it's a little weird if Rex is in it.
I don't know if it was Rex. I can't remember, but I think it was. I think it was Rex. It could have been Echo, I guess. Maybe it's Echo dressed up as Rex. I don't know.
Was he bald?
He was wearing a clone trooper out.
Oh, well, it might be Echo. Oh.
I don't know. Are you gonna watch this? I don't know.
I'm done with Star Wars. I'm not watching any of this shit.
This is related to Clone Wars.
I don't care.
But
It's a future thing, though. I don't give a shit.
You like Clone Wars, though.
I like Clone Wars. But I don't give a shit about any of this other shit that's going on.
If it comes out and people are like, this is amazing, you're just gonna be like, no still?
If people come out and they say it's like, it's in the same vein of Clone Wars and it is kind of darker and it is a little bit more character driven, I might check it out to see if it is actually if it is actually
I don't know
good.
if Dave Filoni has a hand in this or not. I don't think he does.
That's a mistake if he doesn't.
I don't know though. He might.
He's
What else
better.
is he doing? No.
Fucking better.
He's fucking better. So yeah, that's the animated stuff. Live action. So you know about this because I know you were pissed about it. Uncle Owen and Amber Rue are in the Kenobi show, and they're bringing back the guys from episode 3.
Yeah, Joel Edgerton and then that actress who I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
Which I like Joel Edgerton. He's a great actor. He's a great director too. He made the movie The Gift, which is a fucking really good movie. I'm just pissed because it's like we need this. Like we're gonna they are 100%. If they're coming back, we're gonna see a young Luke. We're gonna see Kid Luke because they're not gonna have them without Luke. Because where the fuck is he gonna be? And then we're also bringing back Darth Vader.
Because yeah, Hayden Christensen's in it.
So it's like, what the fuck? Make new shit. I'm tired of Star Wars. They keep saying like, oh, we want to build out the Star Wars universe. You can't build out a universe if you just keep bringing back old characters that we already know. Stop doing that, Disney. Make new shit.
I'm just excited because I like Ewan McGregor.
Cool.
So
I like Ewan McGregor too. I'll go watch any other Ewan McGregor movie.
I like Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan.
Okay, I'll go watch episode 3.
See, I'm hoping this is better than that.
It might be.
there's a good possibility it's better than episode 3.
It very much. Honestly, it probably will be. But it pisses me off, man. Make new shit.
Make new shit.
I don't care about fucking what Uncle Owen's been up to the last 10 years. I don't care.
Hey, maybe Luke doesn't show up, but it's just Uncle Owen and Emperor pissed off at Kenobi, being like, "Why you keep coming here? Fuck you,
leave us alone." Yeah, I mean, what would they have to do? Like, has he just been like creeping like in the background?
Yeah.
And they see him and they're like, "Stop!
Get out of the bushes!
We see you over there, you fucking creepy old man. Stop it!"
He's like, "Ooh," he runs away.
Ooh, he makes that noise that he does when he attacks the Jawas and then he runs away.
The Jawas, I mean,
or the sand people.
The sand people.
Yeah, the Arabs
Tusken Raiders
or whatever.
I don't know why they're in this show.
I don't know. It's just, hey, it's a thing, from the other movies.
Maybe they're just in the beginning. Maybe the beginning is
possible.
Is a reopening of episode 3 where he's handing the baby off.
It's very possible, and I'd much rather prefer that. I don't think they bring Joel Edgerton in just to do
and announce
one second thing, and then make a big deal out of it.
Oh yeah, he's back. He's doing it.
I don't because Joel Edgerton, because back then he wasn't fucking anyone. Now he's a little bit more established in Hollywood, so I would think they would want to kind of use him a little bit more. Yeah. But I don't know. If
they do it, I just hope it's kind of like they're like bickering, and that's why like they're bickering about Luke, but Luke isn't in the show.
If Luke isn't in the show, that would honestly shock the fuck out of me because I have a feeling we're gonna see like a little kid Luke running around because he'd be about like 9 or 10 in the time.
It depends on when this is. They haven't said like specifically when.
Well, I think they haven't.
Mm-hmm. They just said it's after episode 3, before episode 4, so it could be anywhere in that time.
That's true, I guess.
It could span over 10 years. Like, it could at first to last episode. I don't know.
That's true, I guess.
I have no idea. So we'll have to see.
I don't know. But I have a feeling that someone at Disney's like, hey, kid Luke.
It could be right before episode 4, and they're going to just CGI Mark Hamill.
Don't do that again, because it looked terrible. Leave Mark Hamill alone.
Speaking of which...
Let him die, all right?
I got some news on that, too.
Mark Hamill's back?
No.
Is he the Joker again in something?
Sebastian Stan came out and said if he would ever play Luke Skywalker, he said Mark Hamill would have to call him personally and tell him to do it. That's the only reason Sebastian Stan would do it. Because everybody's calling for him to be young Luke.
I mean, I don't think Mark Hamill has any say in that.
He doesn't, but he's like, he wouldn't take the job, is what he's saying.
Oh, well, yeah, I wouldn't either.
Unless Mark Hamill said, hey, go do it.
Sure, Mark Hamill would be totally fine with that.
Do you want Sebastian Stan to be?
I mean, if we have to get a fucking Luke thing again, if we have to do a spin-off Luke thing, sure, he looks like him. I don't really give a shit if they recast him or not. Like, recastings happen. Well, like, you'll have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, but they recast Han Solo with someone who doesn't look like Harrison Ford. So it's like, I really don't care. Like, just get a guy, say he's Luke Skywalker, put him in a black robe, have him do some shit. Like, who cares?
But you don't want Luke Skywalker. So
I don't want Luke Skywalker, so don't do that. But if we have to, like, I don't give a shit. He's a good choice because he does look.
I've seen those side by side pictures. I'm like, what?
Fucking creepy.
The hell?
It's disturbing.
He's reincarnated, but he's still alive. It's weird.
Yeah, it's odd. It's almost like Mark Hamill had a bastard son that he just didn't tell anyone.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't know that guy.
I don't know. It's like, well, you look exactly like him. I don't know what you're talking about.
And then another piece of casting news for Star Wars. Benedict Cumberbatch has said he doesn't give a fuck about playing Thrawn at all.
I love Benedict Cumberbatch. He's always so honest about everything. I don't give a shit. Yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't want to be Blue either in a thing.
I'm sure he's also like, I'm doing Marvel.
He's like, I got this fucking gig. I don't want another fucking gig that everyone's going to hate me in because it's Star Wars. And everyone gets everything Star Wars.
He's probably just like, I want to do other stuff. And if I do Marvel and Star Wars, I can't.
Oh, yeah, busy.
Too busy.
He'll be very busy. So yeah, good for him for telling Star Wars to go fuck themselves.
Man, he did that with Marvel basically, and they were like, yeah, but what if we gave you?
He said that about Marvel.
Initially, he was kind of like, I don't really know if I want to do it.
Fuck him.
But then they're
like, here's $100 million. Yeah. How about that? And he's like, all right.
I think this though, he's kind of like, no, like it's a stern, like I'm not doing it.
Good. He's in the Hobbit. He's in fucking Marvel. He doesn't need to be anything else. He's in the Star Trek universe. Like,
it'd be funny if like tomorrow he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be in like the Batman. It's like, okay.
Stay out of my fucking movies, Benedict.
Okay, sure. He was in 1917 for like 5 minutes.
For like a second.
So, and then my last piece of Star Wars news has to do with Kathleen Kennedy, your favorite person.
Oh, great. What'd she say now that pissed everybody off?
She didn't say anything. Somebody else said something about her.
Oh, okay.
Disney CEO Bob Cupchak or whatever his name is.
Dick check or whatever the fuck they call him last time.
Whatever it is.
Cup check, because cup check is when you tap someone's dick. That's his name.
Cup check.
Cup check.
You think people like kick him in the balls doing that? Cup check.
I would constantly make fun of him if I worked there. I'd be like, "Hey, what's up, Dick check?
What's up, Dick?
What's up, Dick?" He's like, my name's Cup check.
Same thing.
Same thing.
He says that Kathleen Kennedy will continue to run Lucasfilm for years to come.
So great. So Star Wars is just gonna be fucked.
Star Wars and Indiana Jones.
And Indiana Jones is gonna be fucked. I can't even imagine how she's gonna ruin Indiana Jones.
More than Episode 4 did?
Oh my god.
Episode 4. I say it like
but Crystal Skull didn't have any like forced feminist shit in it. She's gonna probably like, oh, the new Indiana Jones is a strong, independent female who's just giving shit. Like she doesn't have to work to be Indiana Jones. She's just, I'm Indiana Jones now, and I'm quirky and different. Blah blah blah. And it's like, fuck off. Fuck all of this shit.
She doesn't need to learn how to use a whip. She's
just naturally good at whips. She can murder Nazis left and right just cause. Everybody likes her. Just offhand. Indiana Jones wouldn't like that bitch. He didn't like his own son.
Episode 5 will be... yeah. Episode 5 will be Harrison Ford and the new chick. And then he's just like, how do you know how to do all this? She's like, I just do.
She's like, I'm a woman.
I'm a woman. Bring back Short Round, goddammit.
Fuck it. They can't. Honestly, it would make sense. Because then you could sell it in Asian markets.
Get Steven Yeun.
Get Steven Yeun. I would say get the guy who played Short Round, but I don't think he's an actor anymore.
I don't think so. Get Steven Yeun because that'd be freaking awesome.
I would love that. That'd be great.
I love Steven Yeun.
Even though he might not be the same ethnicity, but whatever, he's Asian.
Yeah, nobody would care.
Asians might care, but I don't care.
Do you think Asians care about Indiana Jones?
But Asians care about when you like, oh, he's not Korean. He's whatever. Because Koreans hate Japanese
I understand
people,
that.
And Japanese people
but
hate
did
Chinese
they watch Indiana Jones to even know he's not the same character?
But if they're putting it, maybe that's a good point. I don't know.
This is what I'm saying. They didn't care about Star Wars. They didn't care about Indiana Jones.
That's a great point. Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, there are no black people in it, so they might love it.
Maybe. It might be one of those things I was like, what is this?
What the fuck is this? Some old man swinging around on a whip?
There's no fish people in this. What is this?
Where are my goddamn mermaids?
I came here to see the Little Mermaid.
Maybe they'll do that. Maybe that'll be Indiana Jones and the Mermaid Adventure.
Do not. I repeat, do not.
The search for Atlantis. And he finds mermaids.
That? No. I was
that could be kind of interesting.
I was leaning on it, and I thought about Disney doing it. I'm like,
no, I don't want that. I don't want that bullshit.
Let's not do that.
That'd be terrible.
Let's not do that. Let's do the Holy Grail again. No.
Just do it again.
Fuck you.
Let's just do the
They didn't. They lost it in the third one. They just go find it again. It fell down that hole or whatever.
It's gone. Wait, we're gonna go back to that fucking hole and
just go dig it up.
We know where it's at though. We can just go find that thing. What adventure are we gonna get on?
You fall on like a tavern. A cavern. A tavern is
a bar.
It's a bar. You fall in a cavern. You can get stuck in this mystical world.
So wait a minute.
And then it becomes like I don't know.
So you want an entire movie with Indiana Jones stuck in a crevice?
Yeah.
No.
And there's Nazis down there, and they're building.
Why are there Nazis in the crevice?
Because they're getting ready to build their rocket ship to go to the moon.
So have they just been down there the whole time, or are these new Nazis?
These are new Nazis.
How the fuck did they get stuck down there?
Because they're not stuck down there. That's where that's their base.
So it's like a Nazi cave.
Yeah. And they're building a rocket to make their moon base.
And then Indiana Jones gets stuck in the crevice. He's like Nazis.
And then they take Indiana Jones to the moon, and then we get Space Indiana Jones.
He's got to slow mo punch Nazis on the moon.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't. It's a fanfic that no one wants.
Yeah, don't do that. There's a script out there somewhere that I'm sure somebody wrote about Indiana Jones in space.
Oh yeah. It's called Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's all in the Star Wars.
I just love how Disney's just ruining Star Wars, and they don't seem to give a shit.
No, even the Disney CEO, you think he'd be like,
He'd be like, hey, nobody likes her. Like nobody likes what we're doing with Star Wars. Maybe we should try to like I know we're making money and it doesn't really matter, but like maybe we should have people like our movies too. Maybe we should just like get some.
I thought Bob Iger was gonna be like, hey, let's can her, because he was kind of like saying that stuff about like, we did it, we kind of messed up.
Yeah, he said that in his book that came out. He was like, man, we kind of fucked it up. And I was like, you don't say that for one.
I mean, when you're retired, you can say whatever you want.
Sure, but that was also before Rise of Skywalker came out, and he was just like, yeah, we fucked it. And I'm like, okay.
I've seen the script for episode 9. It's not going to get better.
It's not good. Don't get your hopes up.
There's no going up.
Imagine he said that. He's like, don't get your hopes up.
There's no going up from here.
Yeah. Same
See,
shit.
I thought he was gonna can her because after that, but
smart.
then Dick check, whatever.
Dick check.
He's like, yeah, we can keep it, whatever. But Jon Favreau charged me. He seems like he cares more about Star Wars than.
But they're going to keep him on the TV stuff.
I know, but
then
still,
the movies are going to be terrible. Then everyone's going to keep praising the Mandalorian and stuff, and that's just. And then Kathleen Kennedy's going to be like, "Why does everyone like TV stuff?" Blah, blah, blah. I mean, like, maybe because Jon Favreau's not a moron.
The Mandalorian isn't perfect, but it's the best Star Wars thing.
It is. I'll admit to that.
Besides, like Rogue One, I guess.
But apparently, Kathleen Kennedy hates that. Apparently, she hates the fact that everyone likes.
She's probably going to fire him. And be like, yeah, no, you're done.
At some point, she probably will. if all these other shows
the moment an episode comes out where it's like that was awful, that was the worst thing, you're done.
I wouldn't even say that. I'd say if all of these shows do well, she's gonna get pissed and go, "Look, you're off. I'm taking the shit over now.
Get out."
And she's gonna get all like.
Put Dave Filoni in charge of Star Wars. He seems like he cares a lot more.
Dave Filoni gives a shit too. He cares more than probably Jon Favreau does. Like he seems like a real big nerd.
Honestly, yeah. Put him. He doesn't seem like he's doing much anyway besides the TV shows. So just put him in charge of Star Wars, or keep Kathleen Kennedy as the boss lady, but have him be the one under, and he's in charge of the movie stuff.
But Devin, you understand? He's not a.
She's in charge of like finances and marketing.
He's not a strong, independent woman.
Just you can keep her as the head guy, as the head person, but
he's not a social justice warrior.
Again, you got her as that person,
but he's not that. Also,
who cares?
We have to have that.
He makes good Star Wars stuff.
That's not important.
The best episode of The Mandalorian, he did the Ahsoka episode.
There was no strong, independent women in The Mandalorian. There actually were.
Yeah,
there was a lot actually.
So I don't know.
I'm honestly kind of glad Star Wars is crashing and burning.
I mean, the shows isn't.
The shows are doing well, but I don't think anyone gives a shit about the movies.
I mean, especially after Rise of Skywalker, they definitely need to take like a 10-year break from the movies after that.
Yeah,
you left a bad taste in everyone's mouth again after the prequels.
How did you fucking outdo the prequels? God damn it! You were supposed to fix Star Wars.
Instead, you became the very thing you swore to destroy.
Exactly. You fuckers.
Yeah.
And they have the fucking audacity to say that George Lucas's shit was shit. Fuck off, all right? Your shit might be a little bit better, but it's still shit.
Episode 7 and
you can
Rogue
only
One.
polish a turd so much. It's still a turd.
They can say they got Episode 7 and Rogue One, but other than that, it's like, you messed up. You messed up Solo, you messed up The Last Jedi, and you messed up Rise of Skywalker. Like, you did worse than you did better. You 2 out of the 5.
You can shine shit, but at the end of the day, it's still shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So fuck off, Lucasfilm. I hope you all crash and burn, and we all end up on the street.
Watch. They'll make Indiana Jones 5. It'll be like the best goddamn thing I ever made.
I mean, I have faith that James Mangold has enough clout to be like, look, we ain't doing any of that weird shit.
Like, you can fuck up Star Wars, but I'm doing
this shit, all right? I want to actually, like, have a career after this.
I'm doing this, and I'm making it well.
So, like, I want to make it, like, a good Indiana Jones movie.
Cat King's like, oh, shit.
Sorry. Did you just mansplain me?
It's like, yes.
It's like, yes, I did.
Get the fuck out of my face.
Fuck, he just face palms her, get the fuck out of my face.
She's like, oh, well, he
knows what he's doing.
He's got some authority over me.
I made Logan.
I made Logan.
You know who the fuck I am?
Also made the Wolverine, but we don't talk about it.
That movie's fine. And he's also made other movies that are great. So 310 to Yuma was awesome. Ford vs. Ferrari was okay.
I like Ford vs. Ferrari.
That was an okay movie. I like it.
It's not like a rewatchable movie, but it's good.
Oh, it was fine.
It's a good movie. You ready to get to DC?
DC news.
I think we should start real quick with the Suicide Squad trailer.
Sure.
What'd you think about it?
Wasn't
King Shark is a shark. And he has a hand.
That's why his name's King Shark.
He has a hand.
That was a dumb joke. I didn't get that. We're like, all right. And that's Stallone, by the way.
I know it is.
Which is weird.
It's fun.
I wasn't too impressed by the trailer.
I wasn't either. It kind of just like, whatever.
It seems like it's trying a little bit too hard to be funny.
It didn't feel like a James Gunn thing, honestly. Like, that much.
The look of it did.
The look of it, but like...
But the actual movie itself,
yeah.
I'm like, this feels a little weird.
I don't know if it's been chopped up to seem that way, or like editing for the trailer or whatnot.
Possibly.
Because there's that weird joke of like, oh, if this
I fucking hated
this
that.
beach was full of dicks and I had to eat it for justice or whatever.
I fucking hated that.
I would eat every dick on this beach.
See, this is why DC is never good at being R-rated and self-aware, because they always go way overboard with it. They're like, oh, we're gonna make an R-rated movie and we're gonna have comedy and shit in it. Let's just say 15 dick jokes in a row. No, don't do that.
And of course, they made John Cena say it.
Of course, he probably suggested it on set.
Hey, what if we did?
I have to say dick 15 times. It's in my contract.
Because first of all, it's not even a funny joke.
It's not at all because it just keeps going, and he's talking to Idris Elba, I think.
Yeah.
And he's like, even if this whole island was made of dicks, and I had to eat like 15 dicks, I'd eat every single dick on this island. I'm like, what does that mean?
For justice or whatever. He says.
What the fuck does that mean?
Wow.
And it's not funny.
Maybe it is funny with the context, but I don't know what they're referring to.
There is no context.
Yeah, there's no context.
The context is John Cena said dick 5 times.
Yeah, there's nothing, but like I don't know what the conversation is before that.
I don't know.
But I'm sure it still doesn't make it funny.
Probably not.
The best part was that you could see Starro or whatever. Starro.
So at the very end.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that.
That's kind of fun. I like that.
But I don't even remember the trailer that much, honestly.
I remember Harley Quinn showing up and just being like, we're getting more of this shit. Like, all right.
Yeah.
We're getting a Harley Quinn trilogy before A Man of Steel 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Think she's gonna die in this? You got any predictions on who's gonna die?
They're not gonna kill Harley Quinn, alright.
You don't have any predictions though?
It's probably gonna be, I don't know, Polka Dot Man.
Or
whoever the hell Idris Elba's playing. Or Nathan Fillion or any of the other nameless fucking characters that we've never seen before.
I think Captain Boomerang's going down.
Possibly.
I think Michael Rooker's going down.
Michael Rooker's definitely going down. He's died in like every single movie he's ever been in.
James Gunn has already killed him once, so
yeah.
Might as well
rather die again.
He's a perfect actor for it. He loves to die.
I love Michael Rooker.
He's great.
I love him. Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, the only movie he ever actually like starred in as like the lead. He's really good in it.
Michael Rooker is great.
It's fantastic.
He's probably the best part of that movie. Besides,
I hope he has a bigger part in it. I have a feeling he's just gonna be like a little small.
I hope Idris Elba isn't like just doing what he did in Hobbs and Shaw.
He will be.
Don't do that.
He won't.
He's a better actor than that.
I'm Black Superman. He'll just be that again. He'll be that character again.
You're a better actor than this, Idris Elba.
He wants to be a fucking weirdo and not be James Bond or anything.
I know.
That's his fucking fault, all right?
It was a whatever trailer. We'll see how the movie goes.
Yeah, I'm not too hyped about it.
No. There was nothing in it where I'm like, yes.
There was one funny joke that came from Rick Flag when he was talking to Peter Capaldi, where he was like, that doesn't give you an excuse to cough without covering your mouth.
Yeah.
That was funny just because it caught me off guard. It was funny. That was it.
I'm surprised he came back for this movie.
Joel Kinnaman?
Yeah.
He's got nothing else going on.
It's true, but
he's got nothing. He's like, sure, why not?
I'm just surprised that James Gunn was like, let's bring Rick Flag back.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't get rid of everyone except Harley Quinn. Like, they're actually like kind of making an attempt to.
I know people.
Be kind of
I know some of the casual fans are like, "Is this a reboot? Is this a sequel?"
Nobody knows. It's a soft reboot.
It is a soft reboot.
Because even Amanda Waller's the same. Viola Davis is back. So like, and I'm sure they're going to acknowledge the first one at some point, like a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of a soft reboot.
I don't know. I was just hoping it'd be more wacky and weird, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna be.
But see, I don't think that's like what the Suicide Squad needs to be, though.
It's not, but that's what I figured James Gunn would do.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, but see, when people think of Guardians, they think that. But the Guardians movies are actually kind of serious.
But it works for them.
It works for but...
Does that work with Suicide Squad?
Serious?
Like,
or goofy?
Either one.
I mean, anything can work with any character if you do it right. But I think Suicide Squad always kind of needs to have a bit of seriousness because these are dark characters who are villains.
But I think Warner Brothers is like, do silly.
They're definitely saying that. And moving forward, that's what we're going to get with all of their fucking movies. But, like, I think Suicide Squad, like, you need to set up that these are serious villains. And we've never gotten that from these characters.
Yeah, we've never seen them as a villain for anybody.
You can't make a villain comedic until we have seen them as a villain.
This is a movie I feel like you make when you're in your DC universe a little bit down the way.
This is when you're in like phase 3 of the Marvel universe. Yeah. Is you make Suicide Squad, and it's like, oh, Harley Quinn from that Batman movie or Deadshot from that Batman, they're coming together and they're going to be a team and they're going to go save the day or whatever. Like, that's fun. You don't just jump right into that.
No.
Like, all right.
So yeah, we've never seen any of these characters, but you know, let's make a movie about it.
I don't know who the hell Bloodsport is. All right. As a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, it sucked.
I don't know. Whatever. What's some of your DC news that you got?
There's an Hourman movie coming.
An owl?
Hour?
Hourman. What's that?
I would have preferred an Owlman movie because Owlman's dope. Hourman is like a D-list fucking DC character. I'm not super familiar with him. I think he like controls time or some shit. He's kind of poopy, and I don't really care about him.
We're getting that, but not Superman. The fuck is wrong with you, Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
Piss.
I think what they're trying to do with these fucking weird character movies, they're trying to have their Iron Man. Where like no one gave a shit about Iron Man until Iron Man came out. But what made people care about Iron Man was that you made a fucking kick-ass movie. They're going to make this weird shitty movie of Our Man. And then no one's going to see it. And it's
I also think they're pulling a Sony where they're just throwing shit and seeing like, all right, what sticks?
Yeah.
What
does well, and then we can continue.
What are people excited about?
Yeah. No one's excited about Our Man.
No
one will be excited about Our Man once we see him.
No. Unless you get like some crazy actor.
You get like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Or like Ryan Gosling or something.
Don't waste Ryan Gosling's talents like that, alright? Make him Booster Gold.
But yeah, Iron Man was good because one, they had Robert Downey Jr., who's great as Iron Man, and then they made a good movie.
They made a fucking awesome movie. That still is really good.
Yeah, it still holds up.
Yeah.
12, 13 years
And they also weren't trying to make a universe with Iron Man.
Yeah.
They just made a movie, and then they were like, hey, maybe we can do something with this.
And they keep... Because they came out and said, we're going to try it again. We're going to try to make DC Universe again.
Speaking of, The Flash apparently is going to reboot it.
I know. Third time's a charm, goddammit. You fucked up with Green Lantern.
Yeah, they were originally supposed to start it. Well, originally, Superman Lives was going to have a cameo for Michael Keaton in it. So that was originally kind of going to start somewhat of a small little DC universe. And then they wanted to try it with Green Lantern. That was supposed to be the original start.
You fucked up with that.
And then they fucked that up. And then Superman Returns, or actually, no, Superman Returns was first. They wanted to do a universe out of that, and then Green Lantern. And then Man of Steel came out, and they were like, okay, people kind of like this. Let's go. Let's start from here. And then they fucked it along the way.
Yeah.
And then instead of just committing to that and getting better, they're just like, fuck it, we're going to start over.
Do it again.
We're going to try again.
In 10-year span, we're going to do it for the third time.
Yeah, you've had 9 movies, not counting the Snyder Cut, in the span of almost a decade.
And all of them are bad.
And half of them are bad. More than half of them are bad.
The majority.
Yeah. And it's like Marvel had 23 movies in 10 years.
Yeah.
And you've had 9.
Great job.
Like that's awesome.
And you fucked up Justice League.
Yeah. You fucked up
Which should have been your like big hurrah, but no. You fucked it up.
Yeah. And let's just continue to blame Zack Snyder for that.
Yeah, even though
he put out a version of the movie that everybody liked.
That, and then every movie after that also sucks.
Yeah.
That he didn't had any part of.
Exactly.
Except for Shazam. Is the only one.
But that also didn't do very well.
But yeah, money-wise, it didn't do well.
Yeah.
Because you marketed it like shit. Because you're like, oh, it's not going to do well. Because it's not...
Because it was fucking Shazam.
Yeah.
Shazam could have been your Iron Man.
Yeah.
Dumb motherfuckers.
You could start a universe with Shazam.
You could easily, yeah.
You could do that.
It would be a kind of the same problem that people have, where it's just like, oh, you're starting with an already established universe, but you could have, I think.
You could have.
I think it would have worked.
But nah, you fucked it up. Is this a full-on reboot, or is it soft?
I mean, I think they're still going to keep Gal Gadot because they're planning on doing a Wonder Woman 3. I think Jason Momoa is still around because they're doing Aquaman 2, and then Ezra Miller maybe, depending on how long it takes for that shit to die down.
I think they'll keep Zachary Levi. I feel
Zachary Levi's coming back, so it's kind of going to be. I think it's going to be more of a soft reboot than just like everyone's gone and we're recasting everybody and whatever. But they've already said that like the Wonder Woman movies are kind of in their own timeline. Like they're not even really in the DCEU,
which is weird.
And they're not gonna like acknowledge Batman or Superman going forward or anything like that.
Which if you're gonna redo it, just fucking redo it. Don't like try to like we've already.
Don't try to weasel around it.
Yeah.
just hey, we fucked up. We're starting over.
Redoing it. We're gonna the Batman, and we're gonna just fucking do that and start from there.
Yeah, just be honest about it.
Because I know that's what they want to do. Especially because I'm sure they have all the faith that the Batman will do well.
Even if it's not good, it's a Batman movie.
Yeah.
It's going to do gangbusters.
Yeah. It's going to be the first, like, true Batman movie since The Dark Knight.
Yeah, and it looks very much like a Dark Knight movie, and they did that on purpose. Because that's what people know about Batman, is the Dark Knight.
They're like, we're banking on this,
yeah,
and we're going to connect it to our universe. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. That was their whole game plan when they went to that meeting to discuss this.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because they want nothing to do with Zack Snyder. They've already said. They put out that statement where they're just like, hey, we're done with Zack Snyder. We're not making any more. Snyderverse isn't happening. Which, I'm fine with the Snyderverse not happening. I'm happy that we even got the Snyder Cut, because it's weird that we live in a post-Snyder Cut world, because we never thought we would see that. But it's just kind of shitty how they've just been like, no, fuck you. We're not making anything else.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense either.
They are alienating their fan base.
Yeah, kind of.
Because the people that want more Snyder stuff aren't going to watch your new movies. And then if you keep making bad movies, the people that are watching are just going to stop watching.
And it's not like it's going to confuse anybody, because
it's honestly
they've even said they want to do a multiverse.
It's honestly going to confuse people more to do a soft reboot if you don't do it well.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, because you're going to have to, like... You're going to have to assume that everyone's seen the Flash movie to understand Wonder Woman 3 being a different thing and like whatever.
If people skip the Flash movie and then they go into the movie after, they're like, what the fuck? What is this? What happened?
They're like, I thought Batman was in this universe. I thought that's a different Superman? There's two Supermans?
Like, what the fuck is happening?
Like Marvel can do that with Endgame because everyone saw Endgame.
Yeah.
Half the world saw Avengers Endgame. So they can make stuff that ties into Endgame, and you can be like, oh, they're talking about that movie. No, nobody cares about the Flash.
No.
They might be watching the Flash show, and they might have a general knowledge of the Flash show.
And even Marvel, though, even if they tie into smaller movies, like say they like talk about something in Ant-Man, it's not pivotal. Like you don't. The only pivotal stuff is the Avengers movies, which they know people have watched because people watch those movies. But not everybody watches Ant-Man. So like, all right, we'll make maybe a small reference.
Yeah, we'll get a small little reference, and then if you know it, you know it. If not,
but this is gonna be you're gonna have to make this the movie that people have to see if you're making Flashpoint. And you're fucking rebooting the whole thing.
This is going to be the new start of the universe.
Yeah, you're going to have to market this as this is a must-see thing, because otherwise you're not going to understand what's going on from this point on in the DC universe. And that's going to make the casual viewer confused as hell if they don't watch it. So.
They don't care.
I know they don't care.
They don't give a shit.
That's why I'm just saying, if you're going to reboot it, just start from scratch.
Just put out another Superman movie and just say, hey, it's a different guy. It's a different...
Because, aren't you doing... Yeah, you're doing the J.J. Abrams Superman or whatever. So, just do that.
But I think that's going to be part of the new timeline or whatever.
Because I know exactly what they're doing. They're doing we'll just keep the good parts and start from... restart.
The good parts, even though everyone kind of unanimously liked Henry Cavill as Superman.
Yeah.
Even though the movies are kind of whatever, but everybody likes him. But they're just fucking...
We'll do the stuff Zack Snyder wasn't like 100% attached to.
Yeah. We're just like, all right, sure. But like, I don't understand. Just put his shit on HBO Max. It's not going to confuse anyone any more than it already is.
Yeah, and it gives the fan base that wants Zack Snyder stuff. It makes them happy, and then whoever wants to go on with whatever.
Yeah, and if you make those fans happy, they'll go support the other stuff.
Yeah,
because they'll be like, oh, thank you. Now we're having Zack finish his full vision of this universe.
And honestly, you get double DC.
Yeah. DC fans will be over the moon about that.
Right.
Like, we're getting two different takes on the DC.
Honestly, you get 3, because you'll have the CW if you're into that.
True, yeah.
And then you have HBO Max, and you have the movies.
And then whatever hell else HBO Max shows come out.
Yeah.
So you'll have all these different takes on DC that will please everyone, that every DC fan's going to watch.
And then you're making more jobs for people.
And
like, you're just making everybody...
But no, we don't want to...
I know you don't want to invest the money into it, but I think the risk-reward...
We don't want to invest in a sequel to a movie that everybody liked.
Right. Again, it's the same thing as Marvel making the Avengers. It's been like, all right, we're done. That's it.
Yeah, imagine if they did that. Imagine if Avengers came out and blew the world up and everyone's like, fucking A, that was awesome. I want 18 of these fucking things. And Marvel's just like, no, we're done.
Now, we tease Thanos, but we're not doing that.
We tease Thanos, but we're not going to do that. We're going to start over. We're going to start with a Hawkeye movie.
No, we're going to start with, like...
We're going to start over with Ant-Man.
We're going to start over with Moon Knight.
Or Moon Knight, yeah. Some weird, obscure character. It's like, who the fuck? No.
Who's Moon Knight?
Who the hell's Moon Knight?
But we'll keep RDJ. But we'll
we'll keep RDJ, we'll keep Sam Jackson.
But we're going to get rid of Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth.
Like, that's a terrible
what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. And even if, like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, I understand that they don't like Zack Snyder, and he gave them a lot of trouble during the production of these movies, which I get. He's a director. But if you look at the movies that he's made in the DCU, the only movie outside of his, like, universe that did well was Aquaman. And that's only because of international sales, only because of China. And so, like, because Man of Steel did pretty well, and if you factor in the home video sales along with the box office, it made close to like $700-800 million. Batman vs Superman made $800 million just in the theaters alone.
But that was a loss for them because they wanted it to make $1 billion. Wait,
it wasn't a loss; they made money.
It just wasn't
didn't meet their expectations.
They were like, all right, this is gonna make $1 billion.
But if you factor in home video sales, it did hit $1 billion.
Still,
so they made total. They made $1 billion off of that movie. Maybe not theatrically, but in total, they made $1 billion off of that movie.
They're looking at the box office and being like,
sure,
we didn't hit $1 billion.
And Suicide Squad also did very well, and Wonder Woman also did very well. Yeah, it wasn't until after Zack Snyder left that everything just kind of went to shit.
I don't think it was because he left per se, but I think people were like, all right, these movies aren't very good. Especially after
it was very much that too.
Especially after they gave Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman a chance, and they're like, all right. And then Justice League came out, and they're like,
it was very much that too. But people started saying that because WB started fucking with these movies because they fucked the Suicide Squad. They've been
fucking with them since the beginning.
They've been, yeah. I mean, for the most part.
I don't think people were like, oh, Zack Snyder left, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't think that's what it was. I think his,
no, because at the time we didn't know the whole situation.
But I think the factor of you had 3 movies in a row that most people didn't like, it's kind of like the Star Wars effect, where it's like, all right, I'm not watching the next one.
Yeah, but imagine if Marvel did that with Thor, Incredible Hulk, and Iron Man 2. People didn't really like those movies, and they still don't. Imagine if they were just like, all right, fuck it, we're done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. DC should keep going.
Yeah.
Because you have some decent movies mixed in.
Yeah, Shazam's great.
Yeah, Shazam.
Man of Steel's great.
I like Man of Steel. Some people like Batman vs Superman. Some of them do.
Yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League.
People like that movie. Some people like Aquaman.
Some people like the first Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
A lot of people really like that movie.
And some people like Aquaman. But,
yeah,
I mean, that doesn't mean, the majority of people are going to be like, I'm not watching any more of these. No. You start marketing it differently. You start doing what the good parts of those movies and do what Marvel did. Learn what people like. Start doing that. And then, you make different things from off of that. Marvel has their formula in Phase 2 that they were like sticking to. Phase 3 is where you start to get, all right, let's go more grounded, let's do more wacky.
But I think that's what they're seeing. They're seeing that, the Marvel movies are funny, so we need to make fun.
That's not what that means.
But I think that's how they're
that works in that world because that's how that world was made in the first place. Man of Steel that's your ground base.
And I like DC when it's a little bit more grounded because they've always been the kind of opposite to Marvel. Like, DC works really well when it's taken seriously.
Also, but Man of Steel, that's your starting point. It's very grounded in terms of that movie. You don't just go from that to being, let's go be doing wacky, weird,
let's
fun
make a bunch
shit.
of dick jokes.
I mean, granted, Iron Man 2 and Thor Ragnarok are completely different movies. They're also...
Yes, but they're also
20 movies apart from each other.
They're 20 movies apart, and they're 2 different franchises within the main franchise. And it's not like they made one Iron Man movie and then one Thor movie, and that was all we ever got. We got two other Thor movies that were also taken seriously. We got 2 other Iron Man movies that were taken seriously, plus Captain America and whatever. Like, most of the MCU, for like a majority of it, is actually kind of taken seriously. It's only like the Thor Ragnaroks and the Guardians and stuff that are kind of like inherent comedies. Even Spider-Man, like, to a point, is like taken pretty serious in the MCU. But they don't see that. They go, people like jokes and colors.
They're like kids. They're like colors.
Basically, yeah, just colors.
Throw colors on there.
Because that's what they did with Justice League. They brightened that
They did.
That whole fucking movie up, and it looked terrible.
They did the same thing.
Because it was not designed to look that way.
They did it with Suicide Squad, too. They brightened it up.
They did.
It was a lot darker than the trailers.
Yeah, and it looked terrible because it wasn't designed to be that way.
No. It was shot to be in the dark.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a...
bunch of bullshit.
That's
how I'm going to sum it up.
If they committed to it, they could spin this universe into something good. But they're just going, we're just giving up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They could easily make a good DC universe. Yeah. But they just are choosing not to.
And I'd love to have a Marvel and DC universe going at the same time. That'd be awesome.
That'd be fucking cool.
Because every year you'd get, oh yeah, let's go do the lighthearted Marvel stuff, and then you go do the...
And you juxtapose with the more serious DC movies. But people don't... It also has to do a little bit with the audiences, because people don't like serious movies either.
That's not true at all.
They don't like serious superhero movies.
It's not true. Did you see how well Joker did?
Joker did well because it's a Joker movie. They don't want a serious Superman or a serious Wonder Woman or a serious
That is not
whatever.
true at all. You can make those movies and people will like them.
They have, and nobody liked Superman.
A lot of people like Superman.
Nobody liked Man of Steel.
Nobody liked Batman or Superman, but that's not because it's a serious movie. It's
well, there's also a lot of stuff in that.
I was gonna say there's a lot of things that people didn't like in that movie.
But you can make a Batman movie about any character in the Batman universe. It's gonna do very well because it's Batman.
So yeah, it's not true at all that people don't like serious movies. And Winter Soldier is a very serious movie.
And
people
that's
like
not
that
a lot
movie.
of people's favorite MCU movie.
It's a lot, but it's also a lot of people's. Some people
like it, yeah. But a majority of people, if you polled a majority of MCU fans, their favorites would be like Thor Ragnarok or more, Endgame or Iron Man or Guardians or Ant-Man or something. Something a little bit more lighter.
I'm just saying.
Which is fine. I'm not saying that's a problem, but I'm just saying that like DC shouldn't be worrying about trying to do what Marvel's doing. They should be like, hey, we're gonna be different and weird, and we're gonna do our own shit. Fuck off. Like that should be their whole kind of attitude towards everything.
Yeah. They just need to focus on making one good movie at a time.
That should be your primary focus. Making a good movie.
Because even if you think about it, most of Phase 1 of Marvel, most of those movies aren't like super connected to each other until
they're kind of standalone.
Yeah, until you get to
and even in Phase 2 for the most part, it's still kind of standalone. It wasn't really until Phase 3 when everything started to kind of overlap.
Yeah. Which makes sense because you have all this backstory already that you can reference and be like, all right, here's where things are connected.
It's all set up. You have 2 phases of setup, and then now you can just do whatever.
Now I'm just like, all right, everything's mixed together, do whatever. Yeah. DC didn't do that. They're just like, all right, we're going to try to connect everything already.
Yeah, and then they're blaming Zack Snyder for wanting that, even though he made it very clear after Man of Steel he wanted to do 2 more Man of Steel movies.
Yeah.
They made him put in all the Justice League and Batman vs Superman. They made him do that.
Yeah. Because they were like, we got to catch up.
We need to do this now.
They had 2 Avengers movies. We gotta pump out.
We even have 1 Justice League movie ever.
We gotta pump that in. We gotta pump that out.
Yeah.
And they didn't realize, hey, maybe we should take our time on this. And
why take your time on something, or you just rush into it and make it?
So if we got Batman and Superman, we don't need to take our time.
I think that's what they were saying. It's Batman and Superman. Like, come on.
We don't need to take our time. We just throw them in the trailers and make $1 billion easy.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you got to make a good movie.
Make a good movie.
Have you seen the other Superman? Have you seen Superman Returns?
Yeah, it's a bad movie. That was the first Superman movie I ever saw in the theater.
Have you seen Batman and Robin?
Well, that was also at a point where they were also at a decline too.
Doesn't matter.
It's so funny how this has happened multiple times with DC at Warner Brothers, because this isn't the first time this has happened. This happened all the way back in the 70s with the first Superman movie, with the first Christopher Reeve movie. They fired Richard Donner halfway through making the second one because they didn't like what he was doing, and then they brought in someone else and completely changed the movie into something else.
Like
and then they did the same thing with Batman.
Sounds like Warner Brothers needs to, just get their grubby fingers out of.
They need to just, hey, we're gonna hire you, make a fucking movie, and we're gonna stay out of it. That's what they need to do. That's what Marvel does.
Mm-hmm. Well, Disney says, hey, Kevin Feige, you just oversee shit.
Kevin Feige will put his fingers in and just be like, hey, we want to do this thing, so have a reference or build up to this. But he's not gonna go, nah, we need to change this.
Yeah, he's not gonna be like, all right, we gotta throw this stuff in here.
Yeah. We need more jokes and colors.
Yeah, no.
He's just like, all right, cool, you made a movie.
Because he gave Taika Waititi free reign to do just whatever.
Yeah, it worked.
He's like, just make something weird.
Yeah, they did that with the Russo brothers too. The Russo brothers made some of the most successful movies in the whole MCU.
Right.
And they did whatever they wanted.
Right. So,
dude, just do that, Warner Brothers. Quit being fucks about everything.
Get somebody to oversee your universe, because you don't really have that person.
They have, technically. It's not Walter Hamada, it's whoever... Or no, I think Walter Hamada is the new guy. And technically Jeff Johns, but I don't think Jeff Johns is doing his fucking job correctly.
Well, get somebody who does their job correctly. Get a Kevin Feige type to oversee your movie.
Get someone who's a fucking nerd.
Get somebody who's a nerd and somebody who can build a plan of, right, let's get from A to B.
Because Jeff Johns just writes comics. I don't think he's as big of a nerd as he says he is. Like, get someone who's like a fucking nerd. Get like a Tarantino who like knows everything
Get
about
a
everything.
nerd and get somebody who's been in the film industry to know what they're doing and be like, all right, we're going from A to B. We're going to do this, this, and this in between.
Yeah.
And then let's figure out the rest.
And then let's hire directors and just let them do what they want. And not fuck with them.
Because Star Wars didn't do that. And look what fucking happened. They did 3 movies and they fucked that completely.
They fucked the trilogy. So... Speaking of fucking up a franchise, the Trench movie and the New Gods movies.
Yeah, fucking Kane. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. Who cares about the Trench?
But we say that, but at the same time, like, that would have been kind of different and interesting.
It would have.
That would have been the type of movie I wanted to see from DC, because it's like, that's a weird, unconventional movie.
It would have been weird and different, but I don't give a shit about the Trench.
They should make us give a shit about the Trench.
Yeah, you could.
That's on them.
And they say the New Gods thing isn't because of Zack Snyder's Justice League, but I think it is.
That's bullshit.
I think it is.
That's bullshit, because they announced it before any of the Snyder Cut stuff was even coming out. They announced it like a couple years ago.
And then as soon as this comes out, they're like, oh, we can't do it now.
And everyone's like, oh, Darkseid's cool. I kind of want to see more. They're like, no, fuck it.
No.
We're not going to have Darkseid in it. We're not going to do anything.
Yeah, so it's just like, well... It seems like it's connected to that, but you say
it was supposed to be.
No, like the cancellation is.
Oh, it definitely, it definitely is. It definitely is. Because they had a director attached to it.
Yeah, the director is the one who announced that it was.
Yeah, Ava DuVernay was attached to it, and like so they were planning on making this fucking movie because Granny Goodness would have been in it as well, and she was also in Zack Snyder's Justice League for like a second. She was like in the little thing, but she was there.
Yeah.
And Darkseid would have been in it, so it would have connected more to that than the other Justice League movie. Yeah. They didn't want.
Darkseid's not even in that one.
They didn't want to. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they didn't want to associate Snyder's Justice League with their new shit, so they're just like, fuck it, just cancel it. Even though you could probably write him out of the fucking New Gods movie if you wanted to. But
oh well.
It's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
New Gods could have been an interesting movie.
New Gods could have been fun. It could have been their Eternals.
Yeah. Honestly, that might also be a reason why they can't. Like, Eternals is going to come out first, and people are just they're going to copy us.
And I think that would have been a better attempt at DC doing Guardians, because that's where you can get the weird kind of out there characters. Because
these are characters
more goofy with it, but also be serious.
These are characters that people don't know about that much. You can make them weird, and nobody will care.
Yeah, they're not villains.
You make Batman weird, people are gonna be like, "This is weird. I don't like that."
A little weird.
But you do it with some B-list character that people don't know about.
Exactly.
Like the Guardians. People didn't know about the Guardians. Just make them weird.
Yeah.
Make them fun.
And that's what they did.
Exactly.
And it worked.
But I saw somebody saying that what you were saying about it, like being their Eternals. But I mean, if they were scared that Eternals is going to do well and it comes out first, because that's why they're saying that Marvel hasn't done a Namor because of Aquaman.
But see, here's the thing. I don't think Marvel gives a flying fuck about Aquaman. They can put out a Namor. They haven't done a Namor movie because it's under Universal, and I'm sure there's some rights issue with that.
Probably.
And I'm sure they're trying to get the rights back in order to make a Namor movie. But like that never really has been a factor for DC, because they put out Batman vs Superman and Civil War in the same year.
Yeah.
And Batman vs Superman came out first, and it wasn't like people went in expecting Civil War, because we hadn't seen Civil War at that point.
True.
So it's like they don't really give a fuck.
They also tried to make Suicide Squad more like Guardians, though.
They did, yeah.
So.
Because they saw the reaction of Batman vs Superman, they're like, fuck, pull up.
I don't know. I mean, who knows? Eternals could be bad. It could be the first bad Marvel.
It's possible. It's very possible. Eternals could be bad. Shang-Chi could be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Any of these fucking movies can be bad.
Yeah. So far, Marvel's made good movies. 23 decent movies at the worst.
Marvel can afford a bomb. DC
but
can't.
Yeah, Marvel can afford to, hey, we fucked one up.
Yeah.
All right, my bad.
Yeah, they've got all the money.
But DC's like, we can't
fuck. But what's funny is that they're not even attempting to try.
Yeah, no.
They're just like, we'll
just retry again. No.
Like, we're not even going to attempt to make a good movie. We're just going to cancel everything. Speaking of everything getting canceled, Black Adam got a release date.
Yeah.
And it's coming out the same day as Indy 5.
One of the few DC movie things I'm actually looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one, mostly because of The Rock.
Yeah.
I like The Rock, and I think he's perfect casting. And it's going to be great to finally see him as fucking Shazam after almost a decade.
Yeah.
Which is insane. And I know there's been rumors running around that he's trying to get DC in order, because apparently he wants to fight Henry Cavill in a movie.
Which would be awesome.
Which would be fucking so cool. Like, that'd be awesome. And if anyone's going to get shit done at DC, it's The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
So
he has enough clout to be able to be like, hey, we're doing this.
Yeah.
That's dope, though. I love The Rock for trying. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I hope that Black Adam does well. Because I would
like you said, he's been cast for that for like 10 years.
2014.
Yeah. So, fucking Jesus. Finally, it's coming out. It's literally almost been 10 years.
Almost, yeah.
It's weird. That
just nuts.
It just blew my mind that 2014 was 8 years ago.
That's insane. It's going to be 9 years that he's been cast as Black Adam. He's going to be this character for 9 years with one movie.
Shit.
That's nuts. That's fucking nuts. We also got some casting for Black Adam. Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate.
That's cool.
Fucking awesome.
That's dope.
That's awesome. That's a weird... I would never in a million years be like, oh, Pierce Brosnan. But that's an awesome choice. I love that.
I dig it. I'm into it.
Hell yeah. I hope
makes me want to see him have a beard.
I want him to have a beard.
Yeah.
Give him a beard.
Why not? Why fucking not? I don't know who Dr. Fate is going to, like, what is he going to do or anything.
He's going to do magic stuff.
He's going to do magic stuff.
That's what he does.
He's Doctor Strange, but...
I mean, basically.
Yeah.
This is basically what he is. We also got Shazam 2 casting. Helen Mirren is apparently the villain in Shazam.
Who?
Fury of the Gods. Helen Mirren.
I don't know that.
You know who Helen Mirren. Look up Helen Mirren real quick. You know who this bitch is, alright?
Helen... Oh, that old lady.
Yeah. She's been in like every movie.
Every movie ever made. Yeah, I know her.
Yeah, you know Helen Mirren. She's great.
She's 75? Jesus.
Yeah.
She don't look 75.
She's going to be the villain. I don't think they've said who the villain is, but she's the villain. So that's exciting.
Interesting. Is she going to... Is Zachary Levi going to punch her in the face?
I hope so. That'd be great.
75-year-old woman.
Hell yeah. Hells yeah.
In his muscle suit.
His fake ass muscles.
Yeah.
There was also some Flash casting, but it's not really important.
Do they recast Cyborg again?
No, I don't think we're ever going to see Cyborg again.
I thought they were going to recast him though. That's why.
They would not do that because that guy would get so many death threats from all those Ray Fisher fans out there.
All those Snyder fans.
They would attack him immediately.
They got Michael B. Jordan.
That would be hilarious because he was Cyborg Flashpoint. So that'd be fucking hilarious. But I think they kind of want him for Superman. I think he's kind of like...
Probably.
Like, will you please do Superman, please?
Please, we need a big
I'm too busy, like, possibly also being Black Panther. Like, Michael B. Jordan is in such a great place right now that he has the option to be Black Panther or Superman.
Right.
Like, he's living the life.
He's probably like, I'm just going to do Creed.
It's like, fuck both of them. I'm doing Creed, all right? Like,
imagine.
Balls on this motherfucker.
Imagine.
Hell yeah. Michael B. Jordan ain't hurting for work. He'll be fine.
I mean, he was already the Human Torch, too, so... He's going around.
I mean, I'm sure that's one of his crowning achievements.
Yeah, the Batman's next. That's where he's going after.
He's going to be Batman? I don't know if I want him as Batman. He could be a dope Nightwing.
He's just going to be casted.
No, if they do the new Batman, because the Lucas Fox became Batman recently in a comic, and it's actually pretty good. He's black.
There you go.
Fucking get him.
Speaking Bruce Wayne.
I'm tired of seeing Bruce Wayne. Let's have another goddamn Batman. All right? Fuck.
He's be some random guy. Just become Batman.
Sure. Make him a hobo.
I don't know about hobo.
Make him a fucking hobo.
He
finds the bat suit and he's like, I'm Batman now.
Make him a guy that works at Baskin Robbins.
Why Baskin Robbins?
Because he can reference Ant-Man.
That's a different thing. That's a different universe.
I know it is.
They would never do that.
It'd be funny, though.
It'd be hilarious if they somehow, like, Paul Rudd's in the background. He's just like, hey, I'm
working at Baskin Robbins.
I'm at Baskin Robbins.
He's the manager.
He's the manager now. No, I think he got fired.
He did.
But he came
He's
back.
not Ant-Man in this movie. It's just a reference to that.
Oh, so that's how you get around it.
He's just a manager.
Speaking of Batman, Michael Keaton might be out of the Flash movie.
Yeah, I heard about
Apparently,
that.
it's still kind of up in
Some
the air.
weird contract stuff going on.
Well, it's... He put out a statement, which I kind of found to be bullshit. But he said, like, he's worried about COVID. Because I think he's out in England right now, like, shooting some. And he's worried about the conditions out there. And if they start to kind of, like, get better, he'll come and, like, shoot stuff for the Flash or whatever. I think it's a money thing. I think it's a contract thing.
Might be, or it might be just like Warner Brothers, you're fucking up everything. I ain't fucking.
That might also be it too. Like, see, that's also bad on their part because they're fucking everything up. No one wants to be in your fucking movies,
right?
So like,
he's like, I'm not gonna let you ruin my Batman. I'm gonna let it happen.
Yeah, my Batman was awesome. Fuck you.
You ain't ruined it for me.
Bring back Tim Burton.
Bring back Tim. Hashtag bring back Tim Burton.
Hashtag bring back Burton.
Hashtag BBB.
BBB. Just like bring back Batfleck. I started that fucking hashtag. I could bring back. I could also do bring back Burton.
I don't think people will care about that.
I don't think they would. They'd be like, why?
Why?
That that weird emo fuck.
He murdered a guy with the Batmobile.
Not Tim Burton.
No, he was in the Batmobile.
Oh shit, he did it.
He hit the gas pedal.
The extra didn't know that was happening.
Yeah.
He was like, no, he's like, Michael, I got this. He gets in the Batmobile and he just sets the fuck on fire and everyone's like, Jesus Christ.
It's like he didn't give me my coffee this morning.
He's a bad assistant.
That's not his job.
He's an extra.
He's an extra.
Not a PA.
Oh shit.
Someone could have told me that before I set the motherfucker on fire.
He says it so serious.
It's just so calm and nonchalant. You could have told me that before I set his ass on fire.
As he's burning alive in the background.
God damn it. Who's going to give me my coffee now? Where's the coffee guy?
Keaton, get your ass over here.
Keaton, get back in the Batmobile.
Take two.
He struts up because he can't move.
Can't move my neck.
Batman. Val Kilmer has a solid Batman voice.
Does he?
He does. He's got quite a good one. Because it's kind of just his voice, but he just kind of like lowers it. Like,
who has the best Batman voice?
Well, I mean, if we're including animated stuff, Kevin Conroy is Batman, as far as I'm concerned.
Live action, though.
Live action.
Adam West.
I mean, if Adam West has an incredible voice, probably Adam West, to be honest, because he's just got an amazing voice. If George Clooney's Batman wasn't fucking dog shit, I'd probably say George Clooney, just because he's got a cool voice too. But his Batman sucks.
Yeah.
So
it takes away the points.
I kind of like Michael Keaton's voice as Batman.
I like Affleck's in Batman vs Superman.
I do too. I like the fact that they did the voice change instead of just, hey Ben Affleck, can you growl into the camera for an hour? I like how he can just act, and then they do that in post.
Yeah.
So I'm the worst.
So what?
Can you do that again, but this time audible? It's like, that's not... No, you did the complete opposite, alright?
Imagine if somebody said that and they're just like, you just did...
No, Christopher Nolan being the fucking lunatic he has probably said more. Do that more, please.
More.
Yes, it's perfect.
I'll fuck with it in post.
And I'll make it even more inaudible in post, alright?
I love the fact that people were like, hey, I can't understand what the fuck Bane's saying. And he's like, alright, fuck you then.
Yeah, that was a clear studio mandate that they forced him to do.
Yeah.
He's like, alright, he's the loudest goddamn thing in every scene, alright? Fuck you.
Which honestly makes him kind of more imposing.
Yeah, I love that. I'm fine with that.
I find that hilarious.
He clearly did that to fuck with everyone.
I wonder if have you watched the Blu-ray for Tenet yet?
I have not. I've been meaning to.
I wonder if they fixed, because there were some sound issues in that.
I highly doubt it.
I wonder if they...
Because Inception still has fucking issues on Blu-ray too. So
What's up with Nolan and his sound mixing?
He's a fucking weirdo, and he just does whatever he
Why
wants.
don't you just let professionals do the sound mixing?
I mean, they do, but he tells them, hey, can you make sure that, like...
Turn that up.
The dialogue is the lowest thing in the scene.
I want them to have this blaring music.
I need the music to be loud. I need the engine sounds behind them to be loud. I need the muffling of their voice to be, like, very prominent. And then I need you to turn the dialogue, like, all the way down.
So no one can understand.
It's like, but you can't hear anything in the scene. It's like, yeah, that's the point.
Exactly. I'm not good at writing.
It's called art, you fuckers.
No, he's just like, I'm not good at writing.
I'm not good at writing.
I don't want people to hear the dialogue.
I'm kind of ashamed of my script.
It's like, you're one of the best...
No, he's not a writer.
He's like, you're one of the best directors on the planet. He's like,
yeah, but I'm not a good writer.
I'm not a good writer.
Fuck.
I had to write this scene because nobody wrote it. So
everybody left, and I was like, we need a scene.
I need a transition.
I wrote this in 15 minutes on a napkin.
I pulled out George Lucas. I drove here and wrote it at the same time.
This is genius. I just imagine George Lucas sitting in a taxi, writing that fucking scene in Attack of the Clones, just like, this is genius.
The taxi driver's like, oh, God.
Like, what is George doing now?
He's fucking up Star Wars. That's what he's doing.
Fucking up Star Wars again.
Again. It's like, did you watch The Phantom Menace?
Yeah, I made it.
It's like, oh, God.
I made Phantom Menace. It was perfect.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar was the key to everything.
He still is.
And he still is. I'm going to force him into these.
No.
He technically is, because he's the one who gives Palpatine all his power.
He is, but I don't think that's what he meant by he's the key to everything.
I think he did. I think Jar Jar was supposed to have a much, much bigger role in all three of those films.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He wasn't referring to he's the one who gives Palpatine.
I mean, he might have been a Sith.
I don't know. Fuck that. Fuck all that noise.
He would have definitely gotten a lightsaber in the third movie. If everyone didn't hate him, he would have been given a lightsaber.
What did George think? Hey, everybody's gonna love this poop character.
Yeah, that's why he did it. What do you mean? Yeah, he put Jar Jar Binks in there because he thought everyone was gonna love it. Everyone's gonna hate this fucking thing, so I'm gonna put it in this movie.
George should never write comedy because I don't think he understands it.
George should never write.
After 1980, never write.
After Star Wars, just stop writing.
Stop writing.
All right.
Ever.
Red Tails was garbage. I know he didn't really like. He kind of just ghost directed that. He put his name on it, but like there was another director. That was a piece of shit though. And then the prequels were shit. Just stop.
Don't even write letters to people. Like nothing.
Even though I would have loved to see his episode 7, 8, 9, just because they would have been different. They wouldn't have been like they would have been weird and probably not very good, but they would have been different. I'd much rather have that.
I don't want to see any of that.
I want to see the microscopic wills or whatever he was doing.
The wills?
That's what he wanted to deep dive into the metaphors. That's what they're called.
I've seen the thing he's talking about.
The wills.
The wheels. Because there's an H.
The wills. It's like, no, it's just wills.
The wheels.
The Will Smiths?
Yes.
Is Will Smith in this fucking
He
movie?
voices midichlorians.
He's an amoeba.
He voices the midichlorian.
Fuck, man. I just imagine like it does like a zoom in on like somebody's arm and then it goes into their blood and then it's like showing all the midichlorians in somebody's blood and then all of a sudden you hear, "That's hot."
All right.
It's like, what? Okay.
The fuck was that?
It's Will Smith.
It's Will Smith.
He's the star of the movie.
And he's his dancing. He starts dancing the Fresh Prince dance or whatever he does.
The Fresh Prince dance.
Yeah. It's a weird. I can't do it because I'm not good at dancing. You gotta just look it up.
Oh, you mean the MC Hammer type of thing that he does? Because he does that a lot.
I think there's another one in there though too that he does. I don't remember. It's been so long.
He starts rapping.
No,
He's doing that.
he does a dance.
Rap. I'm talking about in the movie.
He
does
does
a rap for the movie.
He's a rap.
Movie. Yo, I'm an amoeba.
I'm surprised they didn't do that with Aladdin. Honestly,
They fucked up by not doing that.
I think he
had a song in the movie though, didn't he?
He did. It's kind of a rap, but it's not really. So
can't really have Egyptians rap.
They don't rap.
They're not black people, all right? Even though they technically were.
It's like, well, what about this song? It's like, oh, well, that's not rap.
That's not rap.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
That's just noise.
This was noise.
He should have did. He didn't do a song for Men in Black 3. He should have did a song for Men in Black 3.
I'm sure they were like, yeah, no.
Why not? He did one for the first two, and they were good.
Because he was past his prime.
Sure.
Did he do one for After Earth?
That's not that type of movie.
Doesn't matter.
Hey, I just imagine M. Night Shyamalan going up to Will Smith. Hey, can you make a rap for this movie? You and your son, because Jaden's.
They could have done it for like the credits.
Fuck. It's like this somber, like quiet movie. Then all of a sudden, bram, 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 hey, and then they start like doing a rap.
That's hot.
That's hot.